my next guest here in the studio. You know what I'm saying? He probably has more passport books filled out than rhyme books. Like Wu-Tang, he's for the children. What was it? Chevrolet Merlin's Soul and Pride. We have Substantial in the building, Merlin. You know what I'm saying? Did I say that right? Okay with that? You know what I'm saying? So, thank you for coming through, fam.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Look, you caught me off guard when you said Chevrolet, the place I was born. You know what I'm saying?
I like to do my research.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you're in your town. You're in town for just vacationing?
Yeah, man. I got family live in town, so I come every 2 to 3 years. So that song, hottest Christmas on record.
You shout out Orlando.
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
You know, I come down here pretty frequently. So yeah, man.
Oh, nice. Okay, word up. And so let's just jump right into it. You know what I'm saying? What was your earliest like hip hop memory? You know what I mean? Like what?
Man, I definitely remember chopping up cardboard boxes, going out front of my neighborhood and trying to break dance or whatever. And I also remember I would take this boombox that my pops gave me, and I'd use an extension cord to kind of run it outside.
Yeah.
And I'd post up in front of my building, man. And I before I wanted to rhyme, I wanted to dance. So I'd post up in front of my building and just dance for like hours, dude. Like,
a word?
Yeah, for real. And
so did you have a b-boy name? I mean,
nah. You know, in PG County, Maryland, man, like it wasn't a lot of b-boys. Back then I was a kid too. So like the neighborhood and the community I grew up in, I mean, people listened to rap music, but they weren't necessarily like into the culture like that. There weren't a lot of graph heads. It wasn't a lot of kids would be breakdancing because, you know, or breaking because they thought it was cool, not necessarily because they wanted to be b-boys. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so then when it started to kind of fall off a little bit, you know, there were very few people like me who were still pretty much holding on. You know what I mean? And yeah, so it was, you know, you were kind of on a solo mission, man. For real. It wasn't until I started to travel a little bit that I started meeting like-minded folks, you know what I mean?
Okay, so
very much into it.
So now, how old are we about, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this like middle school or where we at?
When with the b-boying,
Yeah.
and I want to say that was elementary, man, when I
Word?
was dancing like that.
All right.
And then as I went into middle school, I was still dancing a little something, but I was starting to think a little bit more about rhyming because I wrote my first rhyme when I was like 10. But it wasn't until I want to say maybe I wrote a couple more things in middle school, but then when I got to high school, freshman year, when you know, maturity kicked, not maturity, I want to say puberty kicked in. Puberty kicked in, man, and my voice changed, and people would hear me say other people's rhymes, and it was like, dude, you should rap. Like, you sound better than some of these dudes do when you kick their lyrics. And I never looked back.
Nice,
You know,
nice.
so.
Now, because you were given the name Substantial,
Yes.
right? Now, did you have a chosen name you were doing before?
Yes.
Yes, let's get into that.
Went through a few of those, right,
right,
like most dudes. But yeah, the one I was probably most known by at the time I was given Substantial was Confucius, which was like back in high school when I would hang with the homies and stuff, and we just be chopping it up. They doing what they do, you know. Some of them smoke, some drink, and I really ain't get down like that, but I was always present for it. So anyway, when everybody smacked out their mind, I'm sitting there talking all this deep stuff, you know, yeah, man, and the community and what these folks is doing and blah, blah, blah. And then one of my homeboys just came out the blue and was like, effing Confucius over here. You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of started as a joke, but I was always into like different things dealing with Asian culture and stuff. So it just kind of stuck, man. And I rocked with that for a while, to the point where when I met Nas, when I first met Nas, I got a signed CD, signed my, which album was it? It was the second album. He signed.
Stillmatic?
Yeah, not
No,
Stillmatic. Oh my God, I know the name of it. I was just listening to it.
Yeah. Hey, chat room.
Right. Nas' second album it's the joint with Street Dreams.
Yeah.
Street Dreams and all that. Anyway, he signed the joint for me, and he literally signed. He was like, "Stay up" to the brother Confu, like short for Confucius.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So every time I look at that, I'm like, "Oh, that terrible rap." Yeah, man. Yeah.
Were you in any groups coming up?
Yeah.
Like in high school, you said it kind of died out. You know what I'm saying? So it's
so in high school, like the first group was Scan, which was just it was literally some cool. I don't even know if I can even say it on the show, but
I think we got some of the some cool at
right. And you know, think of the big boy line from Outkast back in the days when we were slaves. I bet we was some cool. Yeah. And so that was the first rap group, and then we formed a bigger crew after a while called Foundation. Which eventually turned into UV Inc. For some of y'all who've been following me a little longer.
Yeah.
And so like the homie Isaiah from the other guys, he was running with me back then.
Oh,
you know
word.
What I mean? What was it? A scene from Godzilla. All of them was running, and so was Truth from Godzilla as well. So you know, I've known them since I was like 14.
Oh, that's dope.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, we've been in it for a minute.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, Marcus D, I think is gonna be. Oh yeah. Joe D just shouted out with the text. He was like, "It was written." Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Yeah, that was the Nas album.
See, that's amazing. It's you can actually just put things out there,
Right.
and just people will just let you know.
I was having an old man moment. That's all it was.
Believe me,
it happens.
Yeah,
It happens.
we've been running around trying to get stuff crazy. You just came. How long did it take to get here from?
Oh man, we was driving what, like 13 hours, 12 hours? 15 hours?
15 hours.
Good God.
Yeah. Oh.
I was trying to shave some time off of it. Yeah.
You don't want to shave off that time in Georgia, though. You got watch out, because
or South Carolina.
I made that mistake, boy.
Yeah, we got pulled over one time. We was out there for like an hour, 5 o'clock in the morning, man.
Oh.
They flipped the whole van, dude.
Damn.
It was crazy.
Word?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I gotta respect the way they handle like the operation, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I got my ticket,
Right.
like he didn't even like go behind me. Like he pulled up next to me. Like he
Wow.
pulled out, already knew I was speeding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Already knew it. There was like 15 motorcycle cops. No
Wow.
joke.
Wow.
They pulled over like 10 people while they were talking to me. I was
That's
like,
crazy.
all right. I was like, I gotta respect that. Man.
Right.
They got it down to a science.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Y'all are talented.
Yeah,
Y'all got a gift. You got a gift.
But yeah, woo. But all right. So now, what was it that actually wanted to get you into breaking? Like, because a lot of people, you know, start off with rapping because they saw that. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I just love to dance, man. Always loved to dance, especially when I was younger. After a while, it just wasn't cool anymore. You know what I mean? The older you got, the more hard dudes were trying to be.
Yeah.
Some very much got down like that. Me, I was just kind of. It wasn't necessary for me to be, try to be a tough guy. You know what I mean? But you know, a lot of the dudes I came up with and stuff, they didn't get down like that, so it just wasn't cool anymore. But at the time, I mean, when I was into it real heavy, I just enjoyed dancing. Man. It felt right. You know what I mean? Loved the move, and so rap was just kind of like rhyming. Just was like a natural progression. You know what I mean? Like I was gonna move one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, word. All right.
So
at least now you can move the crowd.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Dope.
You know?
Dope. And because I used to, you know, get down a little bit, but then when I get older, you might actually break something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And just, I'm cool.
Right.
I was like, I'm good.
Definitely took a couple L's.
Yeah, right? Let me see. Shout out to, got some folks in the chat room. Just want to shout you out. Homie Meta Child, the homie Frank, Chase March. Let's see. But yeah, Frank also said it was written.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Oh, and he just, I guess Frank is kind of bugging out that he's just finding that you're actually in town.
Yeah, a couple people was like, yo, you performing? I was like, yo, I'm really just here on vacay, man. You know what I mean? Just chilling. You know, typically this time of year, man, just try to get in as much time as possible with family and stuff like that, and then prepare for the new year. Got a lot of things lined up for 2015. So just
even more than just 14, because you've been doing a damn lot.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, like, I don't know when it really happened, but like I know a few years back, I just really started approaching like rhyming and making music from a different standpoint. Like at one point in time, I think you make music and occasionally you'll make a song and you're like, oh, this is going to be the one that changes everything. And now it's just like I'll make something and I'll be super proud of it, but I don't get as attached. And so, like, you know, when the spirit moves me to make more music, I just go make it.
Right.
And I don't really worry about you know, some people worry about oversaturation and things like that. But the fact of the matter is, man, I enjoy making music. I enjoy working with other talented people. So as long as people are trying to collaborate and I enjoy what they do, I'm going to do it. And that's pretty much that, man. I'm happy that in a day and age where a lot of people are losing their inspiration and don't even really get down with hip hop or rap music anymore. Me, it's like I love it more than ever, man. So I'm just constantly doing it. And besides, you know, you drop something new, man. You might have been working on something for a year or two. You put it out, and the fans like, man, this is amazing. When's the next joint dropping? So I'm like, hey, well, it's funny you asked. You know what I'm saying?
I got a pre-order for this EP right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So you know, just 2015. You thought I was busy in 14.
Nice.
Just watch. Don't believe, just watch. Right.
All right. So
it's catchy. It's catchy.
it is. You know what I'm saying? And it can't fault him. You know what I mean? But now, all right. So I want to get into a joint.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got a bunch of music from you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're also going to be giving away a copy of, you know what I'm saying, Another Day in the Life of Bop Alloy. We're going to talk about that too. You know what I'm saying? But let's start it off. Let's see. Hold on. I want to hear an intro. All right. Okay. So you're in high school. Was it Cheverly? You're in high school?
No. So Cheverly was not too far from where I went to high school, about like 20 minutes away. I went to high school in Suitland, Maryland. So I went to Suitland High School.
All right. So from Suitland, in high school, you made the move to New York. Where was it?
Yeah, when I
graduated.
College? Yeah, I went to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York.
All right,
yeah.
What did you study?
Graphic design.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out to all my Pratt Institute folks. You know what I mean?
All right, and so from Pratt, okay, because I'm because you're still rhyming. You know what I'm saying? Confucius at this time, or is it Substantial?
I was Confucius when I first moved up to Brooklyn.
Okay. All right. So now, all right. So you're Confucius. Are you? How's the scene? Like, did you go to Pratt because of the degree, or was it because it's like, hey, it's in New York?
I went because it was in New York.
All right,
I had options. I could have went to school in Philly, Pittsburgh, or stayed in the D.C. area, but I wanted to be in New York. My aunt once said to me, right, when she found out I was going to Suitland, which was a pretty big high school, she was like, why you want to go there? You going well, no, my counselor said that about Suitland. She was like, why you want to go there? You're going to get lost in the mix. And I'm like, you don't know me well. You know what I mean? I'm going to be all right.
Yeah.
And my aunt said the exact same thing when I told her I went to school. I wanted to go to school in New York. She was like, "Why you want to go there? You're going to get lost in the mix."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You don't know me, right?" You know. And so, I was intent on if I, you know, the old saying is, if I can make it there, I can make it anywhere. And so, you know, like I definitely made a lot of moves. And it wasn't even when I first got there, it wasn't so much about the hip hop scene. I was real heavy in the poetry scene, just linking up with a lot of different poets, just off the strength of people that my friends in college knew. And then from there, I started meeting other MCs like Pac FM. And when I started running with Pac, he hit me to the underground scene there. And he was doing his thing. He was killing the battles. Yeah, man. And then the rest just kind of happened from there, you know?
All right. Now, and so at this time, were you releasing any projects or just like mixtapes or mixtape verses or?
I mean, you know, like back home in PG and stuff, we were putting together projects with the group and stuff. This was my UV fam. We were putting together demos and different things like that, shopping around here and there. And, you know, I talked to a couple majors or whatever throughout that period of time in high school. And then even after. And so when I first got to New York, I want to say right around the time before I spoke to Jun and met Nujabes.
Needs a phone call or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Marcus D might be calling in.
Oh, so I'm gonna give him a separate number to call in so he can actually, you know.
Cool. But so anyway, like basically what ended up happening was I was a friend of mine, his cousin was DJ Enough, who was an A&R at Def Jam at the time. And so he introduced me, and I worked on a demo that I was trying to submit to him, but I took too long, you know, being a perfectionist. I took too long to get it to him, and so I missed out on that opportunity. He ended up signing Lady Luck.
Oh,
and so right.
Random, yeah.
Right. So and so then that same demo or whatever, Nujabes had hit me up, and at the time no one knew who he was. You know, fans often like, what was it like when he hit you up? And I didn't know who he was. So
yeah, right, exactly.
It was just a person hit me up.
Yeah.
And so He hit me up saying who he was. He wanted to send me some beats, and
So he hit you up how? Like
he got my contact because a dude I went to Pratt with, my homeboy Tomo. Sphere of Influence was his name. He used to be signed to Def Jam Japan, but this was before that happened for him. And so anyway, when he went back to Japan for the summer, he had a mixtape that I did with my man Bisquan, and it was just me doing a freestyle, like on one joint on the mixtape. He heard the mixtape after he asked homeboy if he had knew any dope MCs in New York at the time. Played the joint for him. And he was like, yo, I'd like to meet this guy and hear more of his stuff. Next thing you know, I get hit up, and the rest was history, man. You know what I mean?
Because, I mean, not only did it hit you, okay, so you got the phone call, you know what I'm saying? And people are randomly, all right, cool. So he hits you up,
right?
And you pick up the phone. And I've seen the other interviews, so people can look it up on YouTube where you explain the whole thing. You know what I mean? And you didn't believe him at first.
Yeah, I almost hung up on him.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, cool.
I got some funny friends, man. They do impressions, and I was just like, yo, this is one of my boys clowning. Like, I don't even know where he learned the Japanese accent.
Right?
I'm hanging up. You know what I mean?
All right. And so then, how far were you guys talking? How long were you talking before you took the trip? Because he flew you out there for like a month.
Yeah.
So it went
from
a whole
lot of trust.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
whole lot of trust. I didn't even know what he looked like.
Exactly.
He had a picture of me, but if you know anything about Nujabes, he's a very private person. So I didn't even have a picture of him.
Yeah.
And so I really just took a leap of faith, man. You know what I mean?
That's a huge. That's like the largest leap you could take, because it's literally the other side of the planet.
Yeah. Well, I figured, I'm like, okay, no one's gonna. I haven't done anything to anyone on that side of the planet that they would pay that much money to fly me there to kill me. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take this risk.
See, but you never saw Old Boy.
You know.
See? If you would have saw Old Boy, you'd be like,
right, if I saw Old Boy, I probably wouldn't have did it. But, you know, I hadn't seen it yet, so I don't even know if it was out yet. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man. Yeah, it was a leap of faith, man. That was, I've been hit up with a lot of opportunities over the year, talked to different people from different record labels, and I heard a lot of things. But this was the first time someone was like, I'm going to fly you to a different country, put you up in your own little place, and we're going to record 5 to 6 days a week. Like, no one ever kind of put it out there like that to me. And so I was just like,
let me check my schedule. Hell yes.
I think I'm free. College. So overrated.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So yeah, man, it just it just took a leap of faith. And
so, but how long was it between that initial phone call to the plane flight?
So he hit me up that summer, like in, I want to say like July maybe, because it was Africa hot. It was ridiculous. And and then I flew out there in January. Yeah, because I turned 21 in Japan.
Wow. Yeah, you remember any of that?
Huh?
Because it's just
I do. So it's a lot of drinking. Yeah, it was but yeah, he flew me out there a couple months later, maybe 6 months later.
That's dope.
Yeah, because he sent me instrumentals soon after that. I wrote different things, and then I sent him the lyrics. And everybody knows that he was kicking it with L Universe, who's really Verbal from M-Flow. And M-Flow was pretty much, Verbal was telling him, he was reading over my lyrics and was like, yo, yeah, this dude's really dope. Because Verbal, he's Korean, but he raps in Japanese and English. And Korean if he wants to. And he basically was going over the lyrics with Nujabes and was just like, yeah, this guy's really good. You know what I mean? And so yeah, he just sent me more stuff and flew me out there, and then we just got to work. We did like close to 30 tracks, man. Yeah. So like, there's like an album worth of tracks we did that never even came out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But the album that did come out, though, you know what I'm saying?
To this Union.
Yeah, Son was born.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Damn.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I'm going to get into one of the joints off of there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And behind the scenes, we're going to talk about, I'm trying to build my YouTube up. You know what I mean? So I'm recording, and so the people checking out the podcast, I record the shows for later on.
Right.
People are listening live.
Right.
There's an incentive to go check out the YouTube video because we're going to talk about some stuff behind the scenes.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? So, but before we get into that, let's get in. All right, the track I want to play is called what was it? If I Was Your Mic? Where did the thing go? If I Was Your Mic. Give me a random fact, like Jeopardy style fact about that joint.
Random fact, my boy Cash, that I grew up with, known him since 6th grade. It was actually a concept he came up with. He was from my UV crew, and it was a song that we originally did. And later on or whatever, I just was like, yo, I just want to flip it. And you know, while I was out there, I heard that beat, and I was like, man, this might be a good joint to redo this old joint that we did. And so that's why when you listen to it, I shout him out in the beginning.
All right,
yeah,
word up.
So, yeah.
All right, cool. So so this was off his very first, and it's crazy because a lot of artists are trying to get their first album here locally.
Right.
You get flown to the other side of the planet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, to record your first album.
Yeah.
That is damn. That just must have just blown your mind to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like at the beginning, like damn. This must have just opened you up to the whole thing, because it wasn't like you had to be grinding out, even though you were, to get out your first album. Like,
yeah, it was just a different grind. Like out here, it wasn't so much I was grinding to even promote the album. It was just more so just to make sure people knew who I was, get show opportunities, and I was doing stuff with other artists and stuff. And but they just had it on lock out there, and they really pushed it. And so after it released, I just was trying to make sure people here knew about what was happening there, so I could get more opportunities and share my music. You know what I mean? So
all right, cool. And you've get a lot of opportunities since then. We're gonna talk about that stuff too. You know what I mean? So let's get into this joint. If I Was Your Mic, and behind the scenes, I want to talk about like the setup that was over there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? From like getting off the plane and being like, damn. I mean, so all right, cool. So we got Substantial. You know what I'm saying? Hanging out with us today. It's our show right here, WPRK, Winter Park, Florida, 91.5 FM. And big shout out to homie Chase March, Meta Child, Frank, Lovers of Truth. Meta Child said it's about having fun with the music. Yeah, cool. All right, so we're going to get into it. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's our show. We'll be right back. And then I'm going to give Marcus D an alternate number to be able to call up. All right, cool. Peace.
Why? That's a little something for my man Cash.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it's meh.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So I got the videos going.
Okay.
And so because I'm blown away. Like, tell me. All right, first you got 2 months talking to a dude, because this is the internet. You know, this is 2001, 2000.
This is 2000. No, not even. This is 99.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, this is 99.
So the internet was basically like
super
compared to
slow.
now. Yeah.
I was off my, like when I was on the internet, I had no phone. Like that's how that was. Yeah.
So like, how were you guys sending? Because you said the lyrics. You didn't even say like recorded, because that probably would have taken months just to try to upload it.
So yeah, like he was sending me beats actually on cassette tape. You know what I mean? At first, I was receiving cassette tapes of Nujabes' beats.
Damn.
And so then when I emailed him the lyrics. You know what I mean? I did email him that. I didn't mail that to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, large amount of our communication was via email and stuff like that. But we didn't actually, like, I didn't even know what his voice sounded like until like I got there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we had never spoke. There was no video chatting or anything like that. We were just, it was a whole lot of trust, man.
Yeah.
Like, really just putting faith into, this is going to be something.
Yeah. And so, I mean, what your parents, like, you tell your mom, like, hey, I'm going to meet this random
I wasn't
dude.
even living at home at the time.
Yeah, but you ain't tell him, like, damn, my baby's gone for a month, I haven't heard from him. Oh, he's in Japan.
So, all right, so let me keep, I would keep it 100 with you. So, my childhood in general, like, the experiences I had and the different like from near-death experiences to whatever, in the grand scheme of things, me going to another country was really not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, they shooting people over there, all right, then you good, because they shooting people here. You come home and visit us, you might not be going back to college. So you know what I mean? So it really wasn't a super long, awkward conversation. It was like, Ma, I got a record deal. You know what I mean? And they're trying to fly me over here or whatever to do this music stuff that I've been like pretty much stressing you about for years.
Yeah.
So it looked like it's gonna be something.
That's dope.
And so she was like, all right, cool. And then when I came back, there was some complications with me getting back into school. and the music, it was paying. It wasn't paying great.
Yeah.
But I ain't have a job, so at least it was paying something.
All right.
And so she ain't really argue with me. The deal I made with my mom when I pulled out of college was, as long as this continues to grow, and it looks like it's productive, and as long as I continually grow every year, it's like, yo, I just would like your support, me going to do this. And my mom stamped it, man, and that was that.
That's dope. All right.
And then plus, like I said, I turned 21 there. She was just kind of looking forward to not having to pay for everything. You know what I'm saying? And see her boy become a man,
Yeah, but now that's fresh. Now, all right, so, get on the plane.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
14 hours.
14 hours.
Yeah.
What did do you remember what you did? Like,
wrote.
because this is your first time traveling that far, right? I mean, so you're like, I'm just gonna sit here and write rhymes.
Yeah. I like some of the beats he sent me or whatever. I'm on the plane with literally like a Walkman or whatever, like a joint that plays tapes, because that's what I got the beats on. And I wrote, like, I slept a little something, watched a movie or two, but I wrote like Home Sweet Home. I feel like Home Sweet Home was written on the plane. And literally I wrote Home Sweet Home on the plane. I think I started it on the plane on my way there, and then finished it when I finally got my place there.
All right. So now you get off the plane, you know what I'm saying? Was it like straight to the studio or?
He scoops me up. He plays. We get in the car. We chop it up. He plays the beat for the first song on the album. It's a song called Substance. Yeah. Beat was crazy. And I had some lyrics or whatever that kind of worked. Came up with a hook for it, and then I think that first day we just got my apartment and stuff that I had, my studio apartment out there. And then the next day I was in the studio, man, recording. So yeah.
And that's just pretty much how it just went for like the whole month. You just woke up, went to the studio.
Woke up, stopped at McDonald's, picked up 2 fish fillets for 200 yen. Crushed them joints en route to the studio. You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah, man. Okay, yeah. That was literally the routine. I kept McDonald's in business for a month in Japan. I promise you.
Hold on, we're gonna. All right, word up. So you kept McDonald's in business in Japan.
Yes.
Now
You're welcome.
You didn't want to try any of the food? I mean,
no, I did. But what I learned was, because I didn't speak Japanese, and because I would meet people who spoke English, but a lot didn't speak it too well. I wasn't there was certain food that I didn't eat. So the last thing I wanted to do was go somewhere on my own or whatever, order something, it come out and it's not what I think it is. Like,
it's moving.
Yo, and I'm allergic to shellfish. So I'm just like, yo,
that is not the place. Yeah,
right. So I'm definitely, I definitely tried a lot of stuff out there. But it wasn't unless someone was with me, so I could communicate what I was not going to eat. Like, this is what I don't eat. And so they'd make recommendations. That's why, like, to this day, unagi, ill or whatever is my favorite. It's definitely my favorite food that I have out there. So that was because he put me on. So yeah.
That's dope. All right. And so now, the album comes out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it you can say it did well. Did freaking awesome.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did. A lot of things changed.
So kind of like say, like to not be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just, I guess, hearing like stories like, yo, we're selling thousands and thousands. Like, we're repressing these joints. Like,
right.
How'd that feel?
So the night that I finally, kind of got an idea of what was happening, it was a really crazy night. So earlier that day, my wife is actually here with me. Earlier that day, we get word that a friend of ours that we went to college with was murdered.
Oh.
And so, and then I had a function to do, like that night or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like I'm mixing it. Like, I might be mixing it up a little bit. But long story short, I got some bad news. Some type of bad news came earlier that day.
Yeah.
And then later that day, I ended up getting word or whatever through my man Rock One, who we also went to school with. He was like, dude, I just got back from Japan. I was like, oh, where? How was it? He was like, son, you're everywhere. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, dog, I was in Shibuya. You're everywhere, son. Like, he's like, I go to shop for clothes. He's like, your post is everywhere. I go in the record store to car something. He's like, you're everywhere.
Damn.
Like, you're everywhere, son. And I was just like, yo, for real? And then it's like, I get home that same night, and a box of the pressed up album is like there waiting for me. Same night. Like, what are the chances? You know what I mean? And it was crazy, man. Just like, I mean, it's one thing having your stuff on CD, but to see the vinyl, when I saw the vinyl, man, that right there, because I had been collecting vinyl since I was a youngin', man, and yeah, like, it was just surreal. You know what I mean? Like, you felt like you were amongst greats. You know what I mean? Like, instantly. I'm like, we can burn a CD, even though CD burning was just starting to happen.
Right? You know what I'm saying? That was like the 2X.
But, like, I wasn't impressed by that no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's a CD. Everyone can do that now. You know what I mean? They're doing that in the dorms. You know what I mean? But vinyl, it was just unreal, man. And it was a blessing. It was really one of those things. Like, I'm a very grateful person, like, and what I mean is that if this is the last thing I do, I mean, I'm still blessed, you know what I mean? Like, you know, because coming from what I come from and seeing what I've seen and nearly losing my life in a bunch of different situations, I like, you know, I tell people all the time, like, I really felt like I wasn't even supposed to be here, you know, like,
'cause, you know, the average male of a black man in America is like, what was it, like 20 something?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in old age. I'm like, wow.
Dude, when I turned 21, you know, like, if it wasn't for the fact that I was in another country when it happened, I'd have been like extremely scared. Like, wherever I was going. Like, I just had so many like brushes with like death and you know, just crazy situations that happened to me or like happened in front of me. You know, that I really just, you know, I don't take for granted every moment I get, you know what I mean? And so, you know, like, while some people are kind of on this thing in the internet, oh, you're not really doing that much. You might not, you know, you're not this. It's like, dude, I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
Here. You see what I've seen, and you're still here.
Yeah,
you're amazing.
Yeah, because I'm from Miami, so right. I know.
So I know you know.
I know how it is.
You know.
You know what I mean?
And so, yeah, man, it's, you know, I've definitely seen a lot. You know what I mean? And so, I'm just grateful, man. And like, from that moment, you couldn't really tell me much. Like, I really wasn't on some cocky stuff, but I definitely felt like I felt like I had done something big, and if I didn't do anything after that, I was okay with
accomplished.
That.
Yeah, that's dope.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
All right. So now, so then you come back to New York. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you find out you're selling a whole bunch of units and things of that nature. You know what I mean? And then when is you get up with Q&5?
Yeah, so I knew Q&5 before I even, I knew Tone and Pac before I even flew out there to make the first record. And that kind of happened, like, you know, we went to Tone's crib, me, Pac, and he had invited Session there. And we were just all hanging out, and then we made a song called The Evil That Pens Do, which was on the Extended Fam record.
Yeah,
that was the first song we did.
Because I think that's the first time I've ever came across your stuff.
Right,
you know
right.
I mean?
A lot of people in the States, that was the first time.
I was like that cover. I was like, the cover's classic.
Right. You know, and so we just all were getting up and hanging out, and after we did the song, we were like, man, we should come have a name for this. And so we were throwing around different things. I feel like it was me that came up with Extended Fam. But at first I was like, yeah, and we could for sure to be X-Fam, almost like the X-Men. You know what I mean? I was a comic book dude, so I was super corny.
Yeah.
And Tone and them was like, nah, we're gonna call it E-Fam. Yeah, that's a much better idea. Screw you guys. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, like, you know, we did the project, and it was so much fun making that record, man. We was just you know, we weren't trying to save the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were just,
because the line drop joint was kind of like, how did that come about? Line drop.
I think you know, at the time those Game Over CDs were coming out and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Line Drop was supposed to be a song that we were submitting for that, and for whatever reason they didn't pick it. And that was fine, because we put it out ourselves and people loved it.
Yeah. So, well, I don't understand, that company didn't even like pay people or nothing. Like, I heard some shady stuff happen with those CDs.
Well, I mean, the blessing, because of things that I was pulling off with the folks in Japan and stuff like that, I just kind of hit them from the whole fact that, yo, I got a label. I technically need permission from them to even do this with you guys, and kind of operate it from that point. So I got paid. So I can't speak for everybody else, but I got paid.
Nice.
But I heard a lot of the same stuff. And yeah, it was, you know, I mean, hip hop, man. Like, unfortunately, there are, and it's not even so much I want to say hip hop, but unfortunately, there are some people who choose to operate around this culture who oftentimes are very shady with their business.
Yeah,
and
culture vultures.
Yeah, culture vultures, without a doubt, without a doubt. And yeah, man, but yeah, we were working on the record, and one of the songs, like Selly, working on that song, man, it was like a marathon, dude. We were, I forget how long that session was, like 7 or 8 hours.
Damn.
And it was like the track. I mean, Tone, I don't know if he's listening, but Tone could probably tell you for sure, but I feel like that track was roughly 50-some or like close to 60 tracks, something like that.
Damn.
To pull that song off. And so we were really trying to push the envelope, man, like really take the posse cut to the next level.
And this is like 2002?
2002, yeah, I think when we started working on it. And I think I feel like it dropped in 2003, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it was just, you know, we were just having fun, man. And, you know, it was a great record. The only record I ever did that had a curse word count. You know what I'm saying?
So now you just finished recording an album in Japan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now you're recording an album in New York.
Right.
Like two almost like what
completely
was
different.
Yeah,
records,
you know what I'm saying? Kind of compare and contrast that for me.
Right.
Like, because from what I understand, Nujabes, he's pretty regiment, right? Like he's
it was so let me be clear, and I've said this to fans before. They were like, what was that like? I'm like, truth be told, like if I had to choose whether to work with him or hang with him, I don't regret working with him, but it was far more, we enjoyed each other's company way more when we just hung out. But because we were both two very strong-minded individuals who had a clear vision in what it is that we wanted to do, you know, it was very challenging, man. Like we bumped heads a lot. We didn't agree on a lot of things. Yeah. And you know, like, I mean, for any MC, someone telling you how to rap, like, huh? What you mean say it like this? Yeah. But I rap.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I speak the language.
Right. You don't rap. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you got to kind of put your ego to the side, and you know, there was some compromise, but oftentimes, man, before we even started recording, there's like a 2-3 hour back and forth, man, before we even hit a record button, brother, about how the song should be. And so, like, trying to find compromise like that, I talk about it on the Bop Alloy Another Day in the Life album. There's a song called New Dawn, where that second verse is like, and where it says trying to find compromise every night. Like, yo, like, you know, anybody who's had to make a compromise, like, to do that, every day,
kind of wears on you.
Yo, like, with your craft, like your art, with artistic expression, like for you to find compromise on the thing that's so personal for you, like every day, every couple hours, like it's extremely taxing. And so I love the brother, you know what I mean? I did, but like, but working on full albums with him, like it was a bit much. And so we did start work on a second album, which was To Be Sacrificed. And like he had gathered a couple beats, like at least 1 or 2 of the beats that's on Pace Rock's album that came out were originally tracks for me. And but like, you know, like part of the way through that process, I think when I went out there for the second time to go on tour with him, just for some of the things we bumped heads on, I was like, yeah, I'm probably just gonna figure this out on my own.
Yeah.
And you know, like some would probably say, like considering what ended up happening with his career after, you know, like, yeah, if you could do it again, would you? Nah, I did it the same way.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys are still cool and everything.
Yeah,
too.
we were still cool. We still would talk. You know, that's how like I got those other songs done for his projects and stuff like that. We kept in contact.
Because we listen to like one of them right now, Blessing It.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny, like that was when I first met Pace Rock and stuff. My wife was present for it. She like that was the first time working in the studio with him where there were some other Americans present. Yeah. And so some of the things that like I was dealing with, I'm like, you see what I'm saying? Looking over, like, you see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And so like, and there was one part, there's a line on the song where we were kind of going back and forth about how it should work. And I just kind of pulled the jerk move. I look over at Pace Rock. I was like, hey, other rapper, does it sound right to you? And Pace was like, yeah, it sounds fine to me. I don't know what Jen's talking about. I was like, all right, man. I was like, can we finish it now? You know what I'm saying? But like, it was hilarious, man. But yo, he was so mad. I remember that. Like Nujabes was so, he was like, why did you, I don't, forget it. Just record. I was like, we're wearing him down together as one. We can wear him down. He's like,
That's dope.
He's a strong man, strong little guy, man. You know.
So he flew out Pace Rock also. Like this is what he would do. Like
yeah, he'd fly us out there, man, and we worked with him, and some of us had things that we were kind of doing on our own. Like, well, I should say some of them, because I was working with him exclusively when I went.
Because Sice Star.
Yeah, Sice Star. So I don't know all of the backstory with Sice, and like I know very little like about a lot of the guys like backstory and stuff. I know the funniest thing about Sice was saying that like when people spell his name with 2 R's and stuff, that's because of Jun, because he was like it was just Star, just regular. Yeah. And then like Nujabes was like, I think maybe you should add additional R. No, that's stupid. Like, why would I do that? But it's because of Gangstar. And so, like to this day, like eventually he caved in. You know what I mean? But but you know that's the type of guy he was, man. He put an idea out there, and he push it to you until you
beat you with it.
Yeah, it's like, but I really feel fine. You win again. You know what I mean? But you know, I mean, it all worked out for the best. So,
that's dope. All right, so contrast that with working with Tone Deaf and the whole, you know what I'm saying, Q and 5.
Yeah. Working with them, man, like before I signed to them as a solo artist and stuff, I was already just kind of like unofficial 6 man. I was just like, you know, I had a lot of history with Pac, and so we were always running together. I always see the guys or whatever at the different battles, and you know, it was just like, man, it was a bunch of guys who were hanging out who love rap music, and like, you know, I felt like working with them. I really started to hone my skills as a MC and a rapper, like or lyricist, I should say. You know, because like Tone's been amazing forever. You know what I mean? And Pac as well. Pac's one of the wittiest MCs like I've ever heard, and you know, like I just heard what those guys were doing, and I think I had a lot of natural ability when it came to voice, but like, you know, I'm always a person that feels like I could be improving my craft, and so I grew a lot as a recording artist, an MC, and a lyricist working with them, just trying to keep up line for line, going back and forth with them, and doing those type of songs. You know what I mean? And so yeah, man, it was a great experience. It was, you know, like every experience comes with its challenges as well. You know what I mean? We definitely had some challenging moments and stuff, but you know, those are my brothers, man. You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm just recording you without you really knowing. I'm trying to do a million things here.
It's all good. You're multitasking.
You got to.
You have to.
Yeah. All right. So now are you still? I want to get into like this touring situation. Like so Sacrifice came out through Q and 5.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now. How's the touring going along? You know what I'm saying? You doing shows or how we?
Yeah, so around the time Sacrifice came out, I believe Cunning Linguist came out with their Dirty Acres album. And so they, you know, they stay on the road. And so they spoke with Tone and then decided to invite me along with them to tour with them. So I did 3 tours with them, West Coast, we did Europe, and then we came back to the US and did the East Coast. And yeah, man, it was great. It was my first time out in Europe and stuff. I had the opportunity to go when I was a kid or whatever, but I was like, I don't think so. I don't think I want to go there by myself.
But yeah.
You know, we're learning about Germany in school. I'm like, aren't those the guys that did the thing
with the wall
with those
and
people
stuff
and the wall?
Yeah.
So I was a little scared. You know what I mean? But later in life, you know, it's funny how life works. You know, it gives you that second chance. Like, here you go. You're older now. You can run a lot faster. Something goes wrong, you just run. And so anyway, I go out there with them, and it was great, man. It was great, man. Those dudes are definitely, you know, they're my brothers as well, man. They're just great people, man. Shout out to Natty, Deacon, and No.
Yeah, Deacon's a good dude. I met him in Atlanta at E3C.
Yeah, they're great, man. They're great people. They definitely have looked out for me a lot over the years. I've learned a lot from them, and yeah, they're good brothers, man.
All right. And so now you've been putting out a bunch of joints. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's jump into like the present time, cause
cool.
We gotta get Marcus D on the thing. Like he's ready. Tell him to call 407. Thank you, by the way. Thank you. And so we
407
212 7469. That's like the Our Show number. So it should come up in my Google here, and I'll be able to patch him in. So,
Cool.
All right. So then you started. There was one with Substantial and Burns.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's that the first like besides that was the first album that was solely produced by a person?
One producer, by one producer, and that kind of came about. Like I was linking with him and Dose Now from Pittsburgh and stuff, you know, through different things, from everything from Scribble Jam to just kind of mutual friends in New York. And yeah, man, I like Burns beats. And we were just talking. I was like, man, let's do an EP or whatever. Let's do a project and stuff. And just happened. Just came together real natural. And then as quick as it was finished, you know, I was talking to him. I was like, yeah, man. So you know, about the next steps and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I think I'm done with rap music.
Yeah, that's.
Huh? We just did like the project isn't even a week old, bro.
Yeah, right.
I mean? And you know, because usually how it works, you put out a project, hopefully it gets some critical acclaim or whatever, gets a decent amount of buzz. People respond to it well, more opportunities come. And so I'm thinking that, you know, he about to be, you know, go out there and get it, like go do your thing. And then he's just like, yeah, I'm done. I got this band and stuff. We're doing this other stuff over here. And, and that was it. And he just lost touch after a while. You know, he's a great guy, man. Really talented. Similar to Marcus, both of them are classically trained and stuff. And so, like, he just got all these other skills that I didn't even know about. Until, like, one day he's just sitting behind the piano. Like, I can't even talk. Behind the piano, just doing his thing. And I'm just like, huh? What are you doing? I didn't know you could do this. I just see you scratching and hitting on machines. Like, you're a musician in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just sample and loop.
You're actually like making the samples.
He's like, nah, man, but I like kind of prefer the sample sound, you know. It's like, all right, bro.
And we don't have to clear all this stuff because we played them joints.
Just saying. I mean, you know, we're underground, so we don't clear anything. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? I took your stuff. Cost you more to sue me.
Basically, right? You gotta find me first.
Right. Catch me if you can. I'm gingerbread man. You know what I'm saying? All right. So
then that kind of got you into. When did you meet Marcus D?
Oh man, Matt. It's a beautiful love story that started on MySpace. It was late one night. I got an email saying, yeah, Marcus hit me up. What was that? 2006 or 7? I feel like it was 7 because I moved back to Maryland by then, and I was living right outside of Baltimore at the time. And he hits me up. He was young, man. Like he had to be 16 or 17 when he first hit me up. And he sent me a couple tracks, and you know, he was about his business too. That's what I liked about him. I'm like, this kid's younger than most of the people I'm dealing with, but he's not hitting me up talking about the hookup. Like, yeah, man, you do this for the love, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
it's gonna open so many doors.
Yeah, you should do it for the love. And I'm just like, well, I love my family. I love to provide for my family, especially when I'm doing things that take away from the time I spend with them. So this is for the love.
Yeah, right.
And I like getting paid. So I can do stuff.
I love my family.
I love.
Yeah, love my family. Like getting paid.
Right.
So,
you know what I mean? So, but like the cool thing with Marcus was, it wasn't so much that it was about the money. It was just he was very professional. Even as a kid, he was very professional, and more importantly, he was very talented. And so I heard what he was doing, and I was like, man, I like what this kid is doing. And my agent at the time, who was handling stuff for me for Japan solely, I played some of his stuff, played some of Marcus's stuff for him. And I was like, dude, if we did a full project with this kid, because it reminded me of some of the stuff that I did with Jun, but there was something about like his drums. His drums hit a little harder, and you know, it was just basically, I just felt like, man, this was gonna be something great. So long story short, he sent me a couple more tracks. I got on his first project, and then later on we ended up doing Day in the Life. And that was just kind of the turning point right there when we did that song. We kind of knew from there, if we formed a group, it was going to be something great.
That's dope.
Yeah, so.
I didn't go through. Okay. All right. So while we figure out why things aren't working, let's get into a joint off Another Day in the Life.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? Let's see. What we want to we got here? Let me see what we got here. No, you're going to be, okay. All right. Let's get into Autumn Leaves.
Sure, why not?
Featuring Pismo?
Yeah. Shout out to Pismo. Cool, super cool guy, man.
So how did Pismo get on
Well,
this Bop
Pismo
Alloy?
had already been collaborating with Marcus, and when we were working on the
Oh,
album.
here we go. No, it's working now.
Nice.
Right.
Marcus. Pismo had already worked with Marcus D, and I really love his voice, man. He just has a really great voice, and we were working on the album, and I was just like, man, it'd be dope to get him on something. You know what I mean? Like, he's definitely a solid MC, man. But like when he sings, I'm just like, this is the same guy. Like Jesus Christ, like you're looking at the credits, like who's the guy singing?
You know what I'm saying? There's somebody.
I just see his name. It has to be someone else. And what happened?
I don't know. It just got disconnected. It said it was connected.
Yeah.
All right, let's try that again. All right.
But yeah, and long story short, Marcus hit him up.
That is mad loud. That's
super loud.
That's Google.
Google's like, you will know me. Feel my presence.
Hey, peace, Marcus. Hello, Marcus. Peace. Hello. It says it's connected, right?
Yeah. Like I hear like.
Yeah, I can kind of hear.
Hello?
Yo,
Hey.
hey, there you are.
Can
Hello?
you hear us?
All right. Oh, that's good. All right, Google.
All right.
Okay, well,
Struggle.
yeah, let's. That is awesome. All right, but so wait, the name Bop Alloy.
Yes.
That.
How did that come about?
Yeah.
So yeah, we were trying to come up with names and stuff, and I just felt like whatever the name was, it kind of should sound. Oh, here we go
again. All right. Hopefully we'll get this worked
Come
out.
on, Marcus.
All right.
Wait for it.
And it says answering.
Wait for it.
This is another new thing I'm doing.
Okay.
So
Marcus.
hello. Hello.
Marcus.
Hold on. And it went away.
Struggle.
Damn internet, boy. Maybe we should just send cassettes back and forth.
Right.
You know what I'm
send
saying?
him a cassette. Like, here's what we said. You try to fill in these areas.
It'll be like, we'll do it over like a month. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just back and forth. All right. So, okay. Yeah. But, okay. So, you were saying
Bop
the name?
Alloy,
Yep.
yeah. So I wanted a name that basically we wanted a name that that basically described our sound, and so I was trying to come up with different ways to do that, and I just was like, Bop, short for bebop, and Alloy, just thinking of the fusion or whatever of both jazz and hip hop and stuff. So like, Bop Alloy is kind of like jazz fusion.
Okay.
And it was a little back and forth with my agent at the time about whether or not the name would go over well or whatever with the Japanese fans. But I was just like, just really trying to think bigger than just one particular region. I'm like, I feel like the type of music we're gonna make is gonna be bigger than just like reaching this one group of people. And so we fought for it, man, and that ended up being the name, and it seems like it's going over pretty well.
That's awesome.
For the most part, except for when people call us Bop Alloy. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool.
All right, so let's get into a joint while we try to figure out what's going on
Sure.
here. All right, so yeah, what I say, the joint with Pismo, Autumn
Yes.
Leaves. Random fact about that joint.
Random fact about it. So the song is inspired by a book by Gordon Parks called To Smile in Autumn. I just finished reading that book a few months before I wrote the song. And although I feel like I'm not in the autumn years of my actual life, some would argue or whatever that I'm in the autumn years of my career. You know what I mean? Because it's a young man's game. So, and I'm not getting any younger. So, I kind of wanted a song that reflected the fact that obviously these are things I'm thinking about, and the fact that I also have other talents and other things I'm passionate about, things that I've pretty much been doing the entire time I've been making music, and some even before, like my visual art and my youth work in the community and stuff. And my affinity for traveling and things like that. So
Nice.
Just try and talk about the future and what the next steps are.
All right, dope. Yeah, I want to talk about your community work and everything too,
sure.
because it seems like that's something that a lot of just heads in DC, the DMV area, are really concerned. You know what I'm saying? Because we had Asheru on the show before
Right,
too.
right.
He's doing his stuff too.
He's doing big things.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's kind of fresh.
Mhm.
All right, cool. So let's get into this joint. Autumn Leaves featuring Pismo, Bop Alloy, Marcus D, and our special guest, Substantial. And he might be, performing some stuff and things, maybe a little bit.
Anything
We'll come
can
back,
happen.
anything.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And we got a little exclusive, too.
Yeah.
So, all right, so big shouts to everybody in the chat room at it'sourshow.net. Frank, Lovers of Truth, Meta Child. Let me see something. Frank said the live version of If I Was Your Mic is too dope.
Tell him I said thank you very much.
You know what I'm saying? So
shout out to the Onlyest and Swiss Chris. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Swiss Chris. He was here at the House of Blues. I think it was for like a Lyricist Lounge thing.
Right. Yeah. Swiss Chris is dirty.
He sat on the floor and he was just banging on.
That dude
I was like, he's that dude.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So have you kept up with him? Because that was like
I think we started following each other on Twitter maybe a year ago, and that was like the first time we spoke in like about 10 years, man. Because once I left New York, it was hard. It wasn't too hard to keep up with some people, but we weren't keeping in contact a lot when I lived in New York.
Yeah.
So once I moved, we just kind of like
out
fell
of sight,
off.
out of mind.
Yeah. But he reached back out, man, and we chopped it up. No plans to necessarily do anything, but it was just good to reconnect.
Okay, dope. All right, cool. We're gonna get into it.
Sure.
Autumn Leaves, Bop Alloy, another day in the life of. We're gonna be giving this away. So if you like it, I'll tell you how to get it. All right. Peace. Our show. Because we can hear him though, which is weird.
Like we can hear his voice, but I don't think he can hear us.
Yeah, it's probably the connection.
Maybe try to contact him and see if it makes a difference.
Yeah, let me see. How would I do that on here?
Okay.
How do I?
Man, this was literally the last beat we got for the project. So,
oh, word?
Yeah, heard this jump. It's like, hell yeah. Hell yes.
Because, I mean, how do you guys, now working with Marcus D, how does that?
Typically, we gather all the beats first. You know what I mean? Like, we piece together the whole project production-wise. And like we would try to map out like how it's gonna flow. And so like literally with this album, I listened to it as an instrumental album for like almost a year before I even wrote anything. And just to really kind of vibe to it. And so that was kind of our process for that. And even with the first project, like we had most of the beats gathered before I wrote anything.
Okay.
And it was crazy what happened when we did the first album. I actually was on tour with Cunnilinguist while I was writing for it. I was halfway done with the album before I left on the tour. Finished writing the rest of it while I was on tour. Lost my book of rhymes.
Oh.
So needless to say, I type everything now.
Back up in the cloud.
Oh man.
You know
and lost half of the rhymes for us. I had to rewrite like half of that album. Yeah, that first album was definitely a lot of work.
I'm trying to see if I can hook up something. What the hell is Google Talk? All right, what's his number?
I think it's 253.
Well, let me see it because I don't want to get his number over like the
true.
internet and things. You know what I'm saying? Because the internet's a funny place. I mean, if they're hacking Sony,
right?
Man,
this is easy.
You know what I'm saying?
So look, I'm not even looking at the computer. I don't even know what I'm pressing. Be in there in a minute.
Let's see. Yeah. I think it's gonna connect to my phone.
Oh, Christ.
So I think it's calling me. And then hopefully. So it's calling me, but I'm not getting anything right now. Here we go. I think it's calling him. And I'm gonna see if I can plug that into here. We shall see. Hey, peace. Marcus?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on? It's Conscious. You know what I'm saying? Here with Substantial.
Yo.
All right.
Yo, how's it going?
Chilling. Let me, trying to see if I plug this thing into here, will that still work? We'll find out. Hey, give me a second. We're going to try something out. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see. Technology. Let me see. Cool. All right. So yeah, I mean, how's it going so far? Everything is cool. I mean, we're getting stuff that you want to talk about.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely want to chop it up a little bit about guess winter breaks and future stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's great.
Nice. Okay, cool. Looking up. Yeah, 'cause I didn't want to dwell too much just like on the Nujabes joints.
Yeah, nah, it's all good. It's all good.
And let me see what else. Trying to get everything together. So it's always. All right, so then let me see what else. So we got Marcus. All right, this one's almost done. Let me get into. Let me see something here. Get to an instrumental joint. Let's see if we got some Dilla somewhere in here. Where the heck? Damn it. Listening to this joint here. Alright. No, I was looking for instrumental.
Yeah.
Alright. Cool. That's doing that. Plug.
With leaves that cry. And the leaves call your name. I can hear them. And the leaves bring a frozen rain. Now you're girl. And the leaves call your name. I can hear them. And the leaves bring a frozen rain. Now you're
Have my mic up. That would probably help. That would be probably a positive thing. Hey, Marcus.
Yo.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just on the fly. So it's what we do here. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Oh, I need an assistant,
Can y'all
fam.
hear me?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Oh yeah, I mean it's kind of fuzzy, so I'm probably gonna stay in, go ahead and do most of the time.
Oh, no, that's
I'll
cool.
Chime in,
So wait, hold on.
but yeah.
Let me see. All right, so oh nope, totally wrong. Okay. All right, but you can kind of still hear us though, right? Is it any better?
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm turn this down, turn that up. All right, cool. So we got Marcus D. You know what I'm saying? Who
Yes, sir.
one half of Bop Alloy produced that track Autumn Leaves, featuring Pismo. So we talked about kind of the rhyme side. What went into the production on that track, the Autumn Leaves?
Man, it was actually a record that I found digging about like 3 years prior to actually making the project or even the beat, and I had it in Japan with me, and I knew that I was gonna make it into a Bop Alloy track, but I was just waiting for sort of the perfect time, and as soon as we decided to do the second album, I knew that was the sound that I was looking for, and pretty much just sat down to make it and hoping I didn't mess up the sample, and it came out really dope, and kind of just went with that.
Nah, it came out really dope. All right. So you kind of like just stack samples, or I mean, are you always kind of like, I'm gonna get to that later, or is it kind of like?
Yeah, I mean, usually I do stack samples. Like I dig a lot just for the sheer fact that I enjoy finding records that other people have sampled and things like that. But I always keep a good, healthy amount of samples that I haven't used around just in case. And if something's not hitting me one day, then I put on a different record. Even though I know it has something on it that could be made into a beat, I might not be feeling it that day. So it's always good to keep a decent amount around.
All right. So now you mentioned Japan. So, like, were you touring? Like, were you traveling before Getting Up with Substantial? Or, I mean, you guys seem to be over on the other side of the planet a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't doing any of that before I met Substantial. I think it was like 2009 that I went over to Japan the first time for the Nujabes tribute, and that's when I met everybody. And me and Substantial did. We did a tour after that, but I lived there on and off for about 6 months out of the year. Usually, I was there for about a year last year. So I'm there frequently. I enjoy the culture and everything it has to offer.
So you just go to Japan just to like hang out for a year?
I was actually doing some school stuff over there for the year, but
okay.
for the other, I usually do like 4 or 5 months there, and then the rest of the time in Seattle. But I have a place to stay over there.
Oh, that's fresh.
Cool situation.
Yeah, it must be nice. That is awesome. So talk about the new project. Oh, by the way, in the chat room, Frank wanted to know about how's your beatboxing skills, Substantial, song reference, my favorite things. I add on beatboxing because I practice that craft.
Oh yeah, They're pretty sharp. You know what I'm saying? Pretty sharp. Always ready. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep those skills up. Definitely not as much as my rhyme skills, but yeah.
Gotta get you up with the homie Rubox.
Oh
man.
Yeah, nah, he's dirty.
Oh, you know about Rubox?
Oh yeah, come on, man.
Oh, okay,
I pay
damn.
attention.
Nice.
I pay attention.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I know who folks are that do it for real and remind me why I am an MC first. I definitely pay attention to those folks.
So Marcus, like who are you coming up? You know influenced by coming up? You know what I'm saying as far as production.
Man, like ever since the beginning, I've always been influenced by Premier.
Nice.
Because I mean, I used to. One of the first real MCs I really got into was Royce the 5'9", and I've always loved his stuff with Premier. Alchemist, Just Blaze. One of my biggest personal influences is definitely Nujabes as far as just like jazz, hip hop, and everything. And DJ Dexstream, and yeah, it's a lot of the heavy hitters in Japan, DJ Honda, and then heavy hitters in the U.S. Like pretty much the staples.
All right. And there's also
try and do a nice mix between all of them.
I forgot his name. I can't believe. Showed Tiku by Records. Is the homie. Hunger.
DJ Muro.
Muro. Yeah, Muro's dope.
Yeah.
Muro.
Who else? There's somebody else. But there's a group, Hunger. No, Gaggle with the homie Hunger. And there's some other people.
Gaggle. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope.
I know those dudes actually.
Yeah, they're good people. I mean, I play this stuff on the show all the time.
That's what's up.
So now we got the Bop Alloy Winter Breaks. Because you just put out another day in the life of, like in April or something like that. What were we like? Hey, let's just do another one, another like 9 joints.
So I guess, I mean, I think when we were doing our campaign, we talked about, when we made our goals so quickly, prior to even doing the campaign, we kind of toyed around with the idea of maybe doing a winter project at some point.
Okay.
Because both of our, one of our favorite Christmas projects is Vincent, I don't want to mess up his last name. Help me out, Marcus. The Charlie Brown Christmas record. You know what I mean? And so yeah. And so, we had talked about that and different things, and thought it'd be cool to maybe do that someday. And so when the campaign was going on, the opportunity kind of presented itself as a stretch goal. We were like, you know what? Let's kind of put it out there and see what happens. And so, yeah, people clearly wanted to see it happen.
Yeah.
So, we just we started gathering beats. I guess a couple months after we finished the project, and yeah, man, we just wanted to make sure we got it out in time for this holiday, kind of as a gift back to the people who support us, man. You know.
Now you mentioned the campaign because you're talking about like the Indiegogo joint that you guys
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that, because I know a lot of people, and you guys had great success. You know what I mean, talk about what went into that. For anybody that's trying to get on, some crowdfunding to try to put out a project or something.
I mean, it helps to know your fan base fairly well. You know what I mean?
So it helps to have a fan base, just period, right? Yeah, okay.
Period. And so, all right, so I kind of, it's like my little pseudo equation for it. I tell people, I'm like, anytime, I feel like I should be charging folks for this information. But anyway, anytime you do anything with this music online, or you're pretty much streaming this information to a rack of people, you got to know going in that it's roughly going to reach somewhere between 10 to 20% of those people. So if your network is roughly like 20,000 people, you should know, you have to know that 20,000 people they're not opening that email. They're not opening that email. They're not clicking that link. They're not listening to your song. And these are people who signed up. Signed up for your mailing list or whatever it is you're using. So roughly 10% of whatever your network is who's really going to support you. And so that's kind of the thing I've seen consistently over the years. And so kind of going in, we know we know that we may not get thousands of our fans or whatever to come out and support, but if we can get like, you know, a good 200 of them to do so, and even if they only put up $5, I mean, 200 people putting up $5 is a decent amount of money.
Yeah, that's good.
And we're lucky because we got some fans who, you know, they believe in our stuff so much that, you know, they put up a lot more than $5. I mean, hell, for winter breaks, even like with winter breaks, you know, like one of our fans, like, you know, we made it free on purpose, but we had a fan literally put up $100 for those 6 songs, man.
Nice.
And it just speaks volumes. It speaks volumes about like what type of music we're making and the effect it has on people in their lives, and how people believe in what we're doing. You know, how we're more than just like a rapper and a producer. We're actually like, we have a bit of an agenda that we're pushing. You know what I mean? We're trying to make things better through our music. Yeah, man, and I think people see that. And so the main thing you need to remember, if this is something you want to do on your own, like with any campaign, is you know, knowing how, like having a rough idea. Pay attention to the analytics and stuff and all the different sites that you're using, like how many people are actually doing something with the information you're putting out there, and knowing that that's roughly what you're going to get in terms of interaction with that particular thing. And then the last thing is to also keep in mind that whatever perks you're offering, the better your perks are, the more participation you'll have. You know what I mean? So like, definitely try to do some outside of the box stuff. This time around, we were like, we just put it out there like, yeah, we'll do a wedding. You know what I mean? Like, not thinking that someone was actually going to do it.
Yeah.
And then a fan of ours who I literally witnessed get engaged at a Q&5 show during the summer, ended up funding the campaign so he could then have Bop Alloy perform at his wedding.
Damn.
And like, you know, you don't think when you say some of these things that it's gonna happen, but the one thing I learned a long time ago, this elder was like, yo, if you want it to come true, you gotta put it out in the universe. You know what I mean? You put it out there and somebody's gonna buy into it. Someone believes in what you're saying enough. Shout out to my boy Isaiah from the other guys, because he used to say back in the day, he was like, yo, my man Stan, Substantial say we gonna build the spaceship. Like, just let me know when to show up, dog. You know what I'm saying? And so like, yo, to have people like that in your corner, and I think a lot of our fans, that's how they ride with us. If Bop Alloy gonna build a spaceship, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let me know when Bop Galactica or something. You know what I'm saying? They gonna rock with us, man. And so, you know, shout out to y'all, man. Like, y'all, you know, we got great fans. I can't remember the kid's name, but shout out to one of our fans who hit us up recently who just got engaged and credited our song The Proposal as being like, you know, as being like one of the driving forces that helped him get up the courage to even do it. Damn. And so, you know, I feel like we got something great, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you could be doing like the wedding singer. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? But performing original material.
Right?
Like, it's one thing to get booked to do covers.
Yeah.
Because I've done that before. I've been at wedding beatboxing.
Word.
Shaka Khan, B. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, this happened in real life. And like, yo, to be at a wedding doing your own material, like saying that couple, that's how much your music means to them, that they wanted it to be a part of one of the most important days of their life. Yeah. You got to be doing something great.
Now, Marcus, how that come across to you? Like, they really want us to come out and perform at a wedding.
I mean, for me, it's cool because, I mean, I'm a DJ too, so I do weddings regularly.
Oh, okay.
And, most of the time, it's just top 40 stuff that people are trying to hear, and you got people coming up to you asking you if you can play that, you know, play David Guetta song, or, you know, it's like the new popular stuff, not to them or anything, but it's nice being able to just kind of play what you made at a wedding and be the ones that are sort of like the main attraction there instead of playing the top 40 stuff. It was a cool change from what I normally see at weddings.
All right. Hey, are you down to maybe perform a little something real quick? I mean, you want to do something? Like off Another Day in the Life of?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want to?
So, Marcus, I think I'm going to do, think how you feel about me doing Count on Us, man?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Right. So, real quick, the Steph.
Yes.
The Sapphic songstress.
Yes.
I said that right. Just want to make sure.
You did. Yes, you did.
are you guys related? Because it's like every project.
Yeah, well, so Steph went to the same high school as me.
Okay.
She was a couple years behind me, and we both were visual artists first, you know, and so I had no idea she could sing. It wasn't until she moved to New York. She went to Cooper Union, you know, and that if you're, you know, a person in the art world out there listening and you know about art colleges, you know that Cooper Union is like the top school in the U.S. And so that speaks volumes about what type of skill that woman has. And so anyway, she moved there and was doing her thing there. And we would do events occasionally at Cooper because I knew a lot of the folks there. And I see her get up on stage and do her thing. And I was just like, yo, I didn't know you could sing. Like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so we would keep up over the years and stuff. And then when I was working on Sacrifice, you know, like we were hanging out a lot by then. And yeah, man, she just laced a couple of my records. And now it's like I borderline anything I'm doing, man.
Yeah.
You know, like she's probably one of the first calls I make. You know what I mean? Like I was literally just talking to her on the way down here yesterday. You know, that's my family, man. Like, you know, we're not blood related, but that's my sister.
Thicker than blood.
Yeah, for
That's
real,
dope.
for real. So, you know, and when we were working on the first Bop Alloy record, I had said to Marcus, I kind of wanted Steph to be what Vinny and Mojica was to a lot of the native tongue records. You know what I mean? Like where it's like you're listening to our stuff and you expect to hear her at some point in time, and she makes stuff better, man.
Dope.
She does. You know, I'm not a singer. I try. I be faking it. You know what I'm saying? Steph come through and take whatever I came up with and make it 20 times better, man. You know. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Frank in the chat room said, "My God, Steph." Haha.
Yeah.
So
Steph is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So hey, Marcus, give me a random fact about Count on Us from the production side.
Count on Us. Actually, as soon as I found the sample, I was like, this is a Bop Alloy track, and it's probably going to be a single on the next album. And it, like, from that point, I was like, after I made it, it just came through. It was just kind of the right timing and the right sample and everything kind of fit together. About the sample, I would say it's definitely Brazilian, Latin, and the drums were the main thing that stood out to me. Even the drums, like the kick drum and the sample, was just like knocking. I had it on the monitors in my spot in Japan, and I had to turn it down, which doesn't usually happen on a sample because a lot of the old records are kind of mixed with more highs than lows. Yeah. But yeah, I had another kick in there, and it just kind of topped up.
Crazy.
It just made it that much better. So,
What do you use?
It was a cool joint to make.
What do you use?
I use normally in my studio I have a Phantom X, which is an 88 key workstation, and then I work with FL Studio, which I'm actually sponsored by. So I get a lot of the new updates and all that.
Nice.
So Fruity Loops, for people who don't know the upscale term, who should get a FL Studio. But yeah, and I mean, I usually just keep a small bitty keyboard around me at all times. So I played keys for about, 14 years, 15 years now.
Damn. Nice.
So yeah, it's a decent setup, but in Japan, you gotta sort of streamline it and make everything from 88 keys to like 22 keys, and I got the computer sitting on a stool and everything like that. So,
All right,
it's
cool.
all good though.
And then, so as far as the lyrics goes, Count on Us.
Man, I mean, when I heard the beat, I was, it's the instant, woo, you know what I mean? Just instant. And so I knew, I was like, whatever this is, it has to be, like, it can't just be aight or just, like, something quick, rapping about rapping. And then one day I was doing my summer program with some of my students, and I was just kind of getting feedback from my kids or whatever. I'm like, yo, what do y'all hear to this and stuff? And no one really had an idea. They was just like, you just need to go in, Mr. Stan. You got to go all the way in. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I got you, son. I'm going in. I'm going in.
Going in for you kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For the youth.
And so I came up with the idea, and they stuck behind one day after school while I was writing it. And they was just kind of witnessing what I was doing. Like I literally had numbers like from 1 to like 60 something where I had like lines just like you know, what I'm gonna say based off of this number. Like I had most of that mapped out before I wrote it. And so they were just kind of, for like a good 30, 40 minutes, they were witnessing me writing like the first 12 to 16 bars. And like one of my students was like, yo, that's crazy. Like I've never seen or heard anything like that. And so I was excited, man. Like it's funny, I think about the youngest more than anything. Like if I got you excited, you know what I mean, about this, and it's really not what you listen to at all, I'm on to something. You know what I mean? Like I really respect their opinions and their feedback.
Yeah, because I mean, like they're gonna give it to you straight.
Yeah,
I mean, they're kids.
No filter.
You know what I mean?
Yo, that's corny, B. It's corny. Super whack. Kill yourself. Kill yourself right now. In front of us. You know what I'm saying? We need to make sure you're dead. We're going to confirm the kill.
We're going to put it on YouTube.
Right.
And make a bunch of
Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Do it for the vine. Do it for the vine.
You got to do it in 6 seconds. Quick, though.
Right. Quick. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
All right, cool. So, all right, we're going to get into it. This is Count on Us.
Yeah.
Off another day in the life of Bop Alloy.
Yes.
All right, cool. You're now tuning to WPRK, Winter Park, Florida, 91.5 FM. This is our show, and this is Bop Alloy. Count on Us. Our show. Peace.
So we're gonna bring it back, right? And because I literally go in off the top.
All right, at the top. All right, cool. Yeah, okay. Let me bring this right back. All right.
Look, we gotta get some teamwork going.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not Marcus D.
So
you know what I'm saying? I got my little Winamp thing here.
Yeah,
you know
we
I'm just
making
trying
it happen though. So can you do a little stutter effect, man? Like dun 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 dun. Nah,
hey, Marcus, we got Marcus here. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it as if it's a show.
Right. Marcus, coach him through it, Marcus. This opening pressing of play is like the most crucial moment of this song. You know what I'm saying? Right.
So you want to count it?
You did that. You did that to yourself, man.
I did. I was like, yo, let me try something different, son. And like every time when we do it live, I'm like, all right, Marcus, hold my hand through this. This is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? But like basically it's like no surprise, I'm the one. As soon as I say one, so no surprise, I'm the one that's like right there.
Okay.
You know
all right.
right there.
All right.
So here we go. You ready?
Hopefully.
Right. Look. Look, we're focused. We're locking eyes. We're like you. All right. Here we go. All right. Here we go.
All right.
No surprise, I'm the.
What the hell? Oh, stuttering. Oh, what the hell? Hold on. Let me see. I did press it. You saw me press it. Hold on, maybe if I hold it.
He did. I witnessed him do it. We gonna get it though.
Oh wait, there's like a 2-second gap in the beginning.
Oh, Marcus.
I know I pressed it.
Right.
All right. So
we got it.
Remember the 2-second joint. All right. So. Oh wait. You know what? Hold on. Wait. Okay, I got it at the 2-second mark. So we should be ready to go right into it now.
All right.
Cool.
Here we
People
go.
don't know the stuff that goes into these shows.
It's important to know this,
you know
man.
What I'm saying? Like,
yeah, See, Marcus is DJ, and he just got it queued up. Like I got my finger right on it. Get it. All right.
All right. Here we go.
It's like this. No surprise, I'm the one they sleep on. I roll with dreamers, but when us two come through, we make them believe it's fiending through your receivers. When it's all three of us, for the love of music, high five for Jesus. In the Motel 6, wake up call at 7. Breakfast we ate later, had these plaguers in heaven. By 9:10, I'm in the cab to the airport. Borton's at 11, I'm not stressing, so therefore, it's time to finish up this rhyme I'm 12 bars into. Hold up. 13 now, yeah, this ish cool. Came up since 14 with a hissing ass demo. 14 minutes long, but the songs are hella simple. Finished at 16, then I crashed like a cymbal. Sounded 17 again, I'm gonna body that instrumental. Night before, packed house, it was 18 and over. But still would've killed if only 19 showed up. We focus. In 2021, we may have more for you, but still be underrated. They say that's a catch-22. Wanna be rated the greatest like number 23. Since I think it's too forward, that's something we may never see. 25 minutes before I board for my trip. Hit my driver with a 20 plus a $6 tip. Thinking that I was 27 when I heard Marcus-ish. 28 when we began to plan the very start of it. Dark-skin chip tapped me saying, I don't know what's on your mind. You're holding up the line. By the way, the gate is 29. Pretty little 30-something sister from the motherland. Thank her for the info with my stuff in hand. Cop gum snacks in a book for something to do. Cashier said my total's 31, 32. Phone at 33%. My battery gets lame. Call it the family before I boarded the plane. 34 years young, making music with my friends. 30 minutes through a 35mm lens. They get in the hat before, yo, that's when we hit the road. About 37 copies of our album in tow. One show, they all go. They're a hot commodity. Imports plus shipping be like 38 a copy. Be finally boarded by a guy who's 39 or 40. By the time we hit the sky, we close our eyes, start zoning. And that's Marcus on the keys, ladies and gentlemen. Twinkle fingers.
Classically trained.
Yeah, man. That boy dirty.
That boy good.
We call him white chocolate. You hear stuff coming in the background, right? She creep up in that joint line. And I was trying to sing with her on some.
Just another day in this life for us home. Seems like we the ones that you can count on. Feels right the moment they put the sound on. Count on us to hold it down from now on. Just another day in this life for us home. Seems like we the ones that you can count on. Feels right the moment they put the sound on. Count on us to hold it down from now on.
Yeah, man.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
That's
Pardon the stumbles.
I mean, you know what? You're sitting down. You know what I'm saying?
It's awkward.
And then I'm pressing from my Winamp, which is not even in business anymore. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like I'm putting on a show for you. Like this is for you.
No, there's people digging stuff right now in the chat room. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate y'all.
By the way, shout out some Instagram stuff because I've been putting this stuff on Instagram.
All right.
Let me see. Hold on. There's a few people. I got like a million things going on here. Hold on.
For sure.
Got a new phone here. Let me show you something. All right. Oh, big shout out to homie. I make mad beats.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
What's up, homie?
But the instrumental we were talking over before, that was an I make mad beats joint.
Oh,
you know
okay.
I've known him for a long time.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Over a decade. Shout out to homie. I make mad beats.
You got beats.
Oh, mad beats.
Right.
Shout out to King Carlo, Lodo the drummer chick, Lodo_the_ drummer chick, JME Beyond, the homie Chase March, the TuneIn app. Actually, dug it.
Wow.
Miss Phenomenal 407, We the Buzz, Mel_VP1, Funk Fresh, dude named Lord Fresco. He's like 16, producer out here.
Wow.
Young Eastland. Any of these sound familiar? Just random people. Just you don't know anything to do. All right. So Young Eastland, Christ Council, Ozone_ambassador. That's Sasha. Good people. Let me see. Yeah, so a lot of people digging the stuff here.
Shout out to all of y'all. You know Appreciate the love.
That's dope. All right, word up.
Yeah, man.
So so now, what's so we got Winter Breaks.
Yeah.
That's out now.
Mm-hmm.
What's next for Bop Alloy? You want to try to build that spaceship?
Yeah, I mean, why not? You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, man. We're definitely gonna start working.
5 beats a day for 3 summers.
Right. Nice. Yeah, man. But definitely gonna start working on new material. You know, we've been talking a little something about it, for years now. You know what I mean? Oftentimes when we wrap up one project or close to wrapping up one project, we start discussing the next. So, you know, we don't have enough details solidified to kind of give you inside information on that. But I know Marcus could probably tell you about this next record he got dropping, and then I could tell you about, my solo stuff coming up too.
Yeah, I mean, because it's you and Marcus. This is the most you've worked with just one producer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what is it? What is it about each other? You know what I'm saying? Everybody tell each other. You know, this is like the counseling moment. You know what I'm saying? You tell the other person what you really like about it.
Well, Marcus, nah, man. It's easy, man. It feels natural. You know what I mean? It's not forced. We have fun doing it. You know what I mean? We're genuine fans of each other. You know what I mean? I really like what Marcus does. Really love what he does. I think he's an amazing producer. He's grown a lot. You know what I mean? In the period of time we've been working together. And so we genuinely dig what the other person does. Sometimes you work with people and you'll do something to one of their tracks, you send it to them and yeah, it's cool. It's like, dude, I just poured my heart out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I just said? You know what I'm saying?
Did you not catch that line?
The song was about my man being shot to death in front of me. It's okay. It's just okay. You know what I'm saying? You feel a way. You know what I mean? You want whoever you work with, and this is a message to all the artists out there. You want whoever you collaborating with you want them to feel as excited about what you're doing as you do. And when they don't, it's tough, man. Like, it's tough to kind of manage that successfully, because it's like, you know, you feel like at any given moment, this might not be really going past a certain point because you don't really genuinely seem to care what I think.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
You know, like, all right, good. Money, when the money comes, when the money comes. You know, and so, yeah, man, so it's important to work with somebody you're excited to work with and you're a fan of this stuff. And I'm a fan of what Marcus does, so that's my side of it.
All right, Marcus?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's really the same for me because I literally grew up sort of listening to substantial music. Like a long time ago when I first started getting into hip hop, I was listening to like Nujabes and his album. It was one of the first records I really got into and kind of like knew all the words to, and really like dug deep into it. And kind of studied like the artist behind the lyrics and stuff because he was actually saying something. And for me, it was really dope to be able to kind of feel what he was talking about in his life. And you know, like a lot of artists don't take the music real personally. A lot of times they don't want to give fans insight into what their life is like, how they live, and I think that's pretty much what Substantial's best at.
Nice.
Is being like, you know, like an everyday dude, but he still is like an amazing rapper. And the way that he showcases his lyrics and stuff, it's an insight into his actual life. You know, he's not putting on a front. He's not talking about stunting and stuff because, I mean, I'm sure he could stunt on people and stuff, but at the same time, it's not really who he is, and it's just not, you know, it's not necessary for him. I'm glad that filters into his music, and you know, for me, like when I was doing my first album in like 2000, I was working on it in 2007. That was like the first time I hit him up, and I've been listening to this stuff for like five, 6 years. For me, it was cool to finally be able to work with somebody who I've been a huge fan of for a long time, and then not have them just be like, yeah, okay, that's $1,000 for a feature. And
here's my PayPal email.
Here's a vocal file and a feature.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it was just kind of like a mutual respect thing where he dug the beats. Like the song that we did, the very first song came out great. People loved it, and you know, I found a lot of it. I heard the news that, so it kind of just, you know, we do. Like you said, it's not hard. You know, it's really easy. And when I get the stuff back, every time I get the stuff back, I'm like, this is at least as good as what I would have expected from any other artist I would have sent this to. And that's why it's hard for me to, like, nowadays, send beats to dudes that I don't know what they like and the way that they record and the way that they rap, because I'm like, damn, I could have just sent that beat to Substantial and it would have been like a dope pop out track. Everybody would hear and it'd be out in the universe. You know?
Right.
So it's really hard for me to give beats to people that I don't think, you know, they're gonna do something. I guess no pun intended, substantial with it. You know, and it's like if they're when I do send beats to people, it's difficult.
We're losing.
Yeah, you
writing.
Are you in Japan now or something? Because you getting
No.
You're breaking up a little bit.
But yeah, so talk about
really?
this new project you got coming up.
Yeah, it's called the Lone Wolf LP. I made it every track while I was in Japan every year, and it's basically just a collaboration project with people that I worked with while I was in Japan. And so the influence that I got while I was over there musically and just emotionally through the sound. So with my 2012 album, Melancholy Hopeful,
Okay.
a lot of the same features, but more mature sound. But I think it's pretty much just a culmination of me sort of growing up and kind of being at that point in my life where I'm ready to put something out that I can sort of identify as me in my growing state instead of, I feel like I finally am not growing up anymore, but finally have grown up, and it's just a good project for me to be like, this is how I sound now, and this is my style.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
So I'm really happy with it, and I'm looking forward to putting it out probably in It's February, March.
Oh, okay.
So we're on the release, and we got a video actually with Substantial, Pismo, a Japanese rapper named Zane, and Sight Star and myself in it. So it's gonna be the first time actually that I think all these dudes, second time these dudes are on track together, but the first time that we have like an actual video with everybody in it.
That's
so
dope.
Definitely looking forward to that and everything.
All right, where can people check it out?
For sure.
Like when the album drops in February.
It's gonna be the Lone Wolf LP is probably gonna be on my Bandcamp. And it'll be iTunes, everywhere else, all digital distributors. And for people in Japan, it'll be in stores over there. And if we had record stores here still, it'd probably be in stores in the U.S. We don't have that anymore.
Well, we got a dope one here, though, Park Ave CDs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, well, individual ones, for sure. You know, contacts, I'd love to hit them up to shoot them some copies.
That'd be dope.
But yeah, definitely. But yeah, you can check it out, and if you Google it or just hit it up on iTunes, it'll be everywhere. February and March.
All right, word, nice. Thank you, fam. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, keep putting out the joints, and I'm gonna keep playing. So make sure you send me some tracks off this Lone Wolf joint.
Yeah, definitely will. I'll get your email from Stan, and we'll figure that out.
All right, sounds good, fam. Maybe we can actually get you, like, you know, in the video or something at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Once I have all the promo stuff, I'll send you a personal email with all the stuff in it.
Nice.
Definitely do our best to connect with that.
All right, well, sounds good. Kind of breaking up, but yeah, thanks for calling up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. Marcus.
Can you hear? Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We got you now.
Okay. Yeah, I just said thanks for having me, and then I'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good. Be easy.
All right, bro.
All right,
All
peace.
right, man.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, peace.
And now you, sir, you
Yeah.
got some stuff coming up. But, like, now you mentioned kids, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, talk about the projects you're doing now, like, for children. Like I said in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Really for the children.
So I've been doing youth work probably as long as I've been making music. And so, like, right now, currently, I've worked with a couple of different, I work with Oxon Hill Middle School. I actually work at the school as a student advocate, kind of like the voice for the students or whatever, speak on their behalf a lot of times, and kind of guide them through their middle school years. And
Which is rough.
Yeah,
I remember middle school. It's especially now. It just seems like, because I can just only imagine.
I could tell you some stories. So yeah, but like, you know, but the brother, the academic dean there, my man, Brother Victorious, who asked me to come to the school, really brought me there because of the music that I make. He seen me do different youth programs based around hip hop culture and music production and songwriting at other places such as Covenant House and then Academic Learning Center in Baltimore, which was a alternative school there. And, you know, like, every time I've done it, it's been pretty successful. So he wanted to bring that to the school. And so I do that after school with some of the kids, where it's like we have like a portable studio set up where, you know, we practice critiquing music, writing our own songs, producing our own songs. And they do that after school, like at least once a week. And then while I was there, you know, I have a art background as well. And so I noticed that the school didn't have any art classes. And so, and you know, I'm in the anime. I wouldn't say I'm into it as much as some, but I definitely.
So you're not going dressing up in any place.
I don't dress up. I don't dress up. I'm kind of the outsider when I show up to, you know, conventions, because I'm like dressed like I listen to hip hop. You know, like I might have a shirt on that has reference to something Japanese, but
that's as
but
far
that's
as
as
go.
that's
It's
pretty
not
much,
furry.
It,
Has no tails.
It
no
coordinates
ears.
with some sneakers I'm wearing, like your typical hip hop head, and that is about as far as I go. You know what I mean? But nah, man. And so anyway, I would walk around the school or whatever, and I see different kids drawing in their book, and so, you know, I always say something to them, man, trying to give them some words of encouragement, because oftentimes they don't realize, even though they watch cartoons and they watch these shows and they watch all of this stuff, they don't think about themselves as being the person that could do this someday. And then their parents are ignorant to the process of even putting them in that position and helping build them up to that. So oftentimes it's a hobby for kids. They don't think it's going to be a career. And so, I had a couple conversations with people, and I was like, look, man, I can do 2 clubs. So, I do my songwriting and music production club 1 day a week, and then I do art club as well, which recently this year got turned into something. We have a mod where it's period, where it's kind of focused around studying and different things. We call it peace mod or peacetime. Peace is like the theme of our school, and it's positive energy activates constant elevation.
Nice.
Yeah. So
that was
come on, say it.
Oh, wait. Killer Bees.
Grave diggers.
Grave diggers.
Yeah.
Yes. Energy activates constant elevation.
Yeah. And so anyway, so during that mod or whatever, I do arts and crafts with the kids and stuff. Like teaching them. We've done everything. From some different crafts with like cutting up images to different drawing, painting, all types of stuff, man. Just kind of, and I talk to them a lot about the career paths in that field and remind them like, yo, look around this room. This whole room is art. You know what I mean? Like everything in here was designed, drawn out by someone. Everything. Like the building you're in. You understand? So when your parents and different people are talking to you like, there's no future in this for you. That's because they don't really understand what it is. And so yeah, man. So I do a lot of that currently, and I also work with Maryland Parks in Prince George's County, the county I grew up in, where like during the summer I do something called Safe Summers, and I go literally around to all the different community centers in PG County doing workshops from like 10 p.m. to midnight to keep the kids off the street. I bring like a portable studio set up, we bang out beats until the wee hours of the morning.
Damn.
And yeah, man, get them something else to do. You know what I mean? So I mean, the music saved my life in a lot of ways, man. I know it sounds cliche, but that's the reality of it. It kept me busy, kept me involved in something positive for the most part. And so I go out there trying to offer it to the kids as the exact same thing it was for me. Yeah. And yeah, it's been going well, man. I'm still doing it after 14 years. Something.
Damn.
Like that. Yeah,
that's dope. That's fresh. Nice.
Yeah,
any maybe want to try and branch that out further than just PG County?
Without a doubt, my wife, who's my partner in crime, we're in the process of turning into an official nonprofit organization.
Nice.
And definitely, man, to anybody listening, like at some point in time, I'm probably going to be in your city. I'm always 100% open to coming out to various schools, organizations. When we were in Chicago, everybody knows what's going on in Chicago. Going down in Chicago, we went into a juvenile detention center when we were out there, and then I did a presentation or whatever, like kind of giving them my background and my story. And then we did like a quick writing workshop with them. And then some of the cats, they was like, yo, they weren't so comfortable with writing, but they draw. I was like, that's cool too.
Yeah.
'Cause I do art. So yeah, so I'm like, so we talked about some of what they were experiencing, what was on their mind, and they wrote and all that. And it was, so I do that, man, like as much as I can. And it doesn't matter the age group. When we were in Seattle, I went to elementary school and was doing like a beatbox workshop with the kindergartners, and then I did listened to poetry and stuff written by first graders after that, and then shared some poetry with them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even shared my favorite poem with them,
which is
oh man, I know the name. Why did I just black out on the person's name? The poem is called Separation. Y'all can look it up online. It's real short, and it goes, your absence goes through me like thread through a needle, and everything I do is stitched with its color. That's the whole poem.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, that is my favorite poem.
Nice.
Like I connect that to my pops not being in, my father was in my life for a brief period of time, past when I was 10. And so I connect that, that poem or whatever, I relate that to his absence and even his presence. For that short period of time, like, you felt it's almost like trying to impress somebody. Like everything I do now is to impress somebody that, physically isn't here. Yeah. But, I'd like to believe, like spiritually, he's watching
still watching over.
Yeah. And so, so that's why that's my favorite poem.
Damn, that's dope.
Yeah. So like anytime someone Like, favorite poem. I'm like, I got you.
Right
Got you. And it's short, so I ain't got no excuse to not know it. You know what I mean? Damn, I know the poet's name, man. I'm having a blackout moment.
Hey, internet. You know
It's the poem Separation. And I feel like the poet's name, it starts with 2 initials. It's been a while since I've said the name. It's been a while since I've said that poem, actually. But yeah.
All right. And so we talk about currently what you got going on, and what's coming up.
Yeah, man.
In the future.
So first and foremost, shout out to Kevin Nottingham and the good folks at Hypnot Records.
That's family.
Who, who I've recently joined and become a part of their family, and who are now mine by default. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, we got a great relationship going on, man. And we're working on this new album. And so you guys are amongst the first people in the world to hear what the title of my next album is. My next album is actually called "The Past is Always Present in the Future." That is what the title of my next album is. I know it's a lengthy title, but
well, I mean, your very first album.
It's called "To This Union the Sun Was Born."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Which is again connected to my father or whatever. It was from his obituary. Is where I got the title.
Oh,
yeah, and so so this album, what's going to happen with it is before it's released, we're gonna basically release a couple EPs, which has some songs from the album, but it also has it's gonna have a couple extra tracks. And so the first EP, which is just "The Past," is the one that's produced by the other guys, and and I have a lot of history with them, so it's only fitting that they produced this EP. Like, they've only been the other guys since like 2006, but I've known Isaiah from the other guys since 93 or 94.
Yeah, you said you guys are like in a crew, right?
Yeah, we were in a crew and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, battling in the hallways, beating on the table, doing the, you know what I mean? Like, go back to all of that. And so so it's fitting that they do the Past EP. And yeah, man, it's going to be really... It's going to talk a lot about, obviously, that EP is going to cover a lot of things dealing with the past in different ways. And then some of the other EPs will deal with different subject matter. And ultimately, the album is going to touch on a lot of things that, although things may have happened before, and, some of these same issues that like Martin Luther King and various leaders over the years were concerned with, we're still fighting today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the past is still very much present in the future. And so, like, it's kind of, we're constantly fighting things that are either directly or indirectly related from things in the past, and in some way, shape, or form influence people of today. And so, you're always at war with that. So some of these songs, some will be a little playful, some will be a little more serious, some will talk about, like some of what we're seeing today or whatever, and just a lot of stuff. I mean, I joke on the one track I call myself Mr. Consistent. You mean the one thing you can kind of always count on with me, I mean, there's definitely going to be a lot of personal things in the project, but also me, like, I always typically look at the world around us, in particular the community that I come from, and those communities around the world that are very similar to the one I come from. And so that's always going to be a message or underlying theme in any record I do. And so that's true with this new record. And so, and then also, some stuff dealing with relationships and stuff, but all of which is going to in some way, shape, or form connect with this whole idea that the past is always present in the future. Even with people, it's like we just can't let go, like Throwback Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these things, it's like the past has importance. Yeah. Like people, like, sometimes one of the criticisms we get as Bop Alloy is that our sound is a throwback sound. However, if we didn't do it, someone else would come along, do it, and then because of whoever they're affiliated with, they act like it's the best thing since sliced bread. Oh my God, this sound is so vintage and blah blah blah. Yeah. And I mean, it's one of those things, man. Like, a classic sound will be here forever. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a group 10 years from now that's gonna still be doing this sound, and potentially getting as much love as someone who's doing this new futuristic thing that we haven't touched.
Lasers. Yeah.
It's always going to be like that.
I mean, that's why it's classic. It sticks around.
Right.
I think it's something just like the vibrations and like there's just mathematics behind it or something. Because it's like, it's known that certain things in certain orders just sticks with you, and just kind of like literally like vibrates with you and kind of You know, I don't know.
Yeah, and so and that's part of what this project is definitely dealing with. And so for example, connecting the youth piece to when I'm doing like this little song I'm gonna give y'all a preview of.
Exclusive. Is DJ Clue still around? Exclusive.
But basically, it's the song's called "Follow the Master," and so we're gonna try. Maybe I'll give y'all a verse or two from it. You know what I mean?
That would be very awesome.
And we ain't got to worry about the complications of 2-second like delays. And yeah, man, we're gonna have fun. But like basically, the song's called "Follow the Master," and for a lot of the students where I do hip hop history presentations and stuff, teaching them the history of this culture. It's important to know where we come from. You know what I'm saying? More recent, obviously, the early days of hip hop. And then, we can take it all the way back to Africa, of course. But, like, it's important to know where we come from. And if you call yourself a rapper, lyricist, whatever you call yourself, if you're pretty much doing anything within this hip-hop realm, you should know what a master of ceremony is. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so that's what this song kind of deals with. And so that's why it's on the first EP, which is the past EP.
Because they say, the people that don't learn from the past are doomed to repeat it.
Right.
Which is what you were saying, is really happening a lot now.
Right.
It's kind of depressing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You think people would learn from some.
Yeah.
But people are people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think as long as you just try and reach people around you, and then they try to reach people around them, I mean, hopefully, in a billion years, we might learn something.
The only thing that doesn't change is change. You know what I mean? Change is the most consistent thing there is. Yeah. So, as much as it sucks that people are repeating some of the same mistakes, the reality is someone out there is learning from those mistakes, and they're learning better than others simply because they have folks constantly making that mistake in front of them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the 5th time this week I've seen someone fall victim to this. I won't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? And so someone's learning from it. You know? So.
And hopefully, I mean, we just try and get more and more people. And that's why, things like radio shows and going out tours and reaching people and putting out music,
without a doubt,
it helps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The internet's a great thing.
It is,
It's also a scary thing, but hey.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, again. Yeah, it definitely it has its ups and downs.
Yeah, word. All right, cool. So we're going to get into it. Let's follow the master.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Produced by the other guys.
Yes. Shout out to my brothers, the other guys.
Off the EP, The Past.
Yes.
Off the album. Well, is it going to be on? Maybe we'll see.
Time will tell.
But the album is The Past is Always Present in the Future.
Yes.
On Hypnot Records.
Yes.
Shout out to the homie Kevin Nottingham.
Mm-hmm.
And let's get right into it. And we'll come back and just sign off and do what we gotta do.
All right.
All right. Once again, this is our show right here, WPRK, Winter Park, Florida, 91.5 FM. We got Substantial. You know what I'm saying? He was awesome enough to take some of his vacation time and talk with us, and I really appreciate that.
I'm having a lot of fun, man. So it's cool.
So thank you very much, man.
It doesn't feel like work at all.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Just sitting here talking.
We just chopping it up.
You know what I mean?
And it just so happens to be mics present.
Yeah, right?
Microphones just happen to be here.
And a bunch of people just happen to be listening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to y'all.
All right, cool. So we're going to get into it. This is Follow the Master.
Cool.
Substantial. Produced by the other guys.
Yeah.
All right, it's our show.
Let me get me getting rapper mode. Hands up. Hands up, unless you're driving. Then one hand up. Yo, if you don't move the crowd and ain't a master of the ceremony or a microphone controller, you are not an MC. So don't ever disrespect the homie world-class title holder born and raised in MD. Known to get the party popping quicker than stripper with vodka in it, so they gon' clap for me. But I ain't talking booty cheeks, slick with the duty speak, it's talk mastery, cause I am Mugen with a blue pen, samurai champ, Lou, be damned if I can't lose, and if I did, I put two L's together, make a W, dumber you, comparing substantial to a substitute, all I do is win, but that clearly ain't your thing, then again, you're more T-Pain than painting, I'm art personified, all heart magnified, but about 105, no doubt, come alive, follow the hands up. Hands up. If you're driving, one hand up. Yo, I tell them, hey, F off the stage, son. You ain't doing ish, no need to tell them to save some. Crowd look well rested at time to get adjusted. cop food and drinks and have time to digest it. I go get them going like they part of my live show. Close, moist voice, host is harder than Cairo. I'ma steal the spot when I drop my payload and have them going wild, and I ain't raining no pesos. They do what I say so, my presence demands it. A veteran standard, yo, it's better than stand-ish. I sever their hand if they extended to grab this, and ish on everything like I never been pampered. I son them like Frederick Sanford. Been a G, but I don't sell trash just so I can make a living. B, I'm pop, certified, all heart, magnified, but about 105, no doubt. Come alive, follow the master. Yeah, say hands up. We're gonna wrap it up. Hands up. We're gonna let these, I want y'all to vibe out to this right quick. You hear that right there? That's my man Joe, of the other guys, killing it on the organ. Yeah. I figure I saved something for him. You know what I'm saying? We saved at least one verse for him. That boy good.
So you're rhyming over this part?
Oh yeah.
Why would you do that? This is awesome.
When you hear it though, the energy with what my man's doing is crazy.
This is nuts.
It's a dope combination. That's what I call riot. Yeah, turn on the way up. It's gonna get real loud in here. I'm up, certified or hard, magnified, but about 105, no doubt. Come alive. Hands up. Hands up. If you're driving, one hand up. Don't wanna hurt yourself or nobody. Yeah. Follow me. Yeah, man. But yeah, that's off the new record. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's damn. All right, that's
lot of
okay.
fun,
I'm looking forward to this EP. When is it supposed to be coming out?
So
The Past.
The Past is coming out in March.
March.
It's dropping this March.
Nice,
Yes, sir.
nice.
Yes, sir.
You already know.
It's probably gonna be like 5 tracks, something like that.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's gonna be great. And we're planning to head down to South by Southwest, so hopefully you will be able to catch some of those songs live and in person.
I'm trying to head out there too.
Yeah, man. Hope to see you
Yeah,
there. Chop it up.
definitely. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, that'd be dope.
Word.
So I'm trying to take the show on the road.
Hey,
You know what I'm
that'd
saying?
be dope.
My goal is to be the Anthony Bourdain of hip hop.
Ah.
I always tell people, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to explain it to them, and I'm like, Anthony Bourdain of hip hop.
Right.
They're like, oh, I get it.
Right. I can. Yeah, man. We can do a hip hop takeover or something. Hopefully we get the rest of the crew out there. So maybe man.
That'd be dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Kevin's been on the show a few times.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
He helped me host the at A3C, like an interview segment thing. You know what I'm saying? We interviewed a bunch of people.
That's what's
so
up.
it was pretty dope. So shout out to the homie Kevin Nottingham.
Yeah, for real.
All right, so a couple of things before we wind out. Hey, give me like a oh-ish hip hop got me here moment for you. Like, was there a point where you just like had to kind of like stop, and then in the midst of whatever it was, you're like, oh-ish. And by the way, thank you for cleaning up the verses.
Hey,
I appreciate you.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was like,
I perform a lot for the babies, so you know what I'm saying. That you know, sometimes a mess up or two will come with me cleaning it up. But hey, you know, try not to drop too many F-bombs on people. So a oh-ish moment. I've told this story like 5 times in the last month, man.
Damn. Okay.
So there's this other group that I work with called Phenom with my man Jay Cast, who is
P-H-E-N-O-M?
No. It's actually F-A-N-O-M-M, and the reason why we spell it that way is because we were trying to come up with a name, and then I really got to a point where I was like, man, F a name, and then I was like, matter of fact, F-A. And then nom is like name in French or something. Yeah. So I was like, there it is, phenom, F a name. And everybody think we're talking about phenom, but that's what it really means.
That is dope.
So anyway, we were tapped by the car brand Bentley to do a song and performance.
Wait, I'm sorry. The bee and the wings.
Yes. Yeah, so we were tapped by the car brand Bentley.
I'm going to check out the car you rolled up in.
There's video on YouTube. Yeah, I'll give you the link before we roll. And so the music I do with them is more like electro, like dance and hip-hop fused. So it's not necessarily, I know it's not for everybody, but I'm very consistent no matter what I rap on. So you need to know that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we were tapped to do a song for Bentley, and so we did that. And while we were in Shanghai, you know, that was a great experience. But there's a moment where I'm being driven to the hotel, and we're being driven in Bentleys to our hotel. I'm in a suit, you know what I mean? I'm looking like money, you know what I'm saying? And I look out of my window, and the hotel we're staying at, like, my room is so nice, B. Like, the room is so nice. My walls are mahogany.
Wow.
Like, it's not even.
Wow.
Like, I'm looking like, is that real? Like, why? It's not like the little trailer park. You got the little wood panel.
Yeah.
Like,
this
mahogany,
is solid.
Dude. Yo, like, it was nuts. And so I'm on my way to this hotel with this hotel room. And I look out the window and I see a man literally bathing himself on the street. He has a hose over a street sign, and he's literally showering himself on the street.
Damn.
And I thought about, like, the stuff I've come from and the things I've seen, and I was like, in this particular moment, like, yo, hip hop got me here.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing what this dude is going through, and I had a period of time where it's like I feel weird sometimes saying I was homeless. I was couch surfing. I had people who cared enough about me to let me sleep on their floor.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying. So I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean. Shout out my wife. She was there with me at the time. So you know what I mean. Like, and I think about those moments and all the struggles I had and other crazy situations, and the fact that I even got to that point where I'm being driven in a car that's probably way too expensive. Like, I'm literally being driven in a car that's like $500,000 in their country. You know what I mean? And it was just surreal, man. I was just, it was really one of those moments like, yo, never forget how blessed you are, man. Like, you really gotta understand that no matter how bad you have it, somebody has it way worse. And what's really deep, it's not even that. What's really deep is they're probably not complaining.
Yeah, exactly.
About that, because depending on how they were brought up, they're still appreciative of the little that they have.
Yeah.
And so in that moment, I was already appreciative of a lot of the opportunities and things I had, but that was just a polarizing moment that's just like, it could be worse. Right?
Yeah.
Don't go complaining about, the speakers weren't right and the little earbud things, like, that's stupid, man. Like,
yeah.
Even being here right now is an amazing thing. So
definitely.
Yeah.
And you literally being here is amazing, and I really appreciate that.
That's what I was implying.
Oh, damn! Thank you.
Know what I'm saying?
Hey, shout out to the TuneIn app. They liked what you just did too.
Hey, man.
I really got to talk. I got to find somebody at the TuneIn app or something, because they've been liking a lot of stuff. I'm sure what's going on.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to Loretta.Beatty.
Okay.
Gab singing, dug it. Slevin is more, dug it. The homie Chase March again. Funk Fresh. And I make mad beats again.
That's what's up.
Nice.
Appreciate y'all.
You know what I'm saying? This is dope. Nice. All right. So, okay, cool. And then, let's finish it off on some knowledge, because I know you're, into the knowledge. So let's, there's an app called Rapology.
Okay.
It's a hip-hop trivia app. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Here we go.
Yes.
Here we go.
And so.
Let me get focused.
We get into like 10 questions.
Hey, look, let me apologize to anybody in advance if I disappoint you at this moment, especially being a hip-hop educator.
No.
So, yeah.
Believe me, what you just did. Big shouts to Miles Ryan Music also.
All right.
Instagram just blowing up.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for helping me blow
Hey, no
this thing
problem.
up. All right. So it's dope because it's Android and iOS. So it's for everything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And let me see. You can challenge your friends, which is pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? And they have like top scores. And then if you reach a certain amount of points, you get like a mixtape or something too.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
That's pretty cool.
And then there's also like beats and things that be playing in the background and stuff.
Dope.
And what's dope is you can play online, offline, and then if you pay like a little bit more, you get like a bunch of questions. And you can also choose by like the decade and stuff.
I did that with another app recently. I'm not gonna say their name, but
no, go ahead. What was it?
I don't remember the name. That's why I say it. But like it was like Daft Punk. It was a Daft Punk joint. I was killing for a second. I was in it. I was like, yeah, got you, yeah, I got that right too, and then they just start smashing me. They just start. I was like, clearly, I don't know as much as I thought of me. I was like, that's the questions I know.
Well, that's what's dope is that you don't. I mean, even though you may think you know everything, I mean, it shows you how wide hip hop is.
Someone always knows more than you,
right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As long as you're trying to learn more, that's the whole point.
And it's so vast too. You know what I mean? So many different subgenres within it. You know what I mean? So like, like for instance, a lot of the indie hip hop that comes out nowadays, people think because you're an indie artist that you listen to all of it.
Exactly.
Right.
Nope.
If I don't know them personally, I know a lot of dudes' music because I know them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it. because it's the market's flooded. It's very much flooded.
Like I said, that's one of the bad things about technology. It's just everybody has access now.
Yo, I dropped the joint too. Nope, I did not.
Did not
because they posted 50 songs that day, and yours was the second. I just went through 25 of them.
Exactly.
And,
I'm not going through.
I was defeated by the fifth one. You know what I'm saying? I'm stunned, B.
Hey, you know what? Have your own radio show.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? That people seem to kind of dig.
God bless you. God bless you. I don't know how you do it, brother.
It's just a whole lot.
It's hard enough making a playlist on Spotify.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine what your job is like.
By the way, the homie Frank, the poet is W.S. Merwin.
Yeah. Hey, man, Frank, you are awesome, son. See, I told you, I knew they were initials. I could not remember the last name.
You know what? Shouts to Frank. I'm
W.S. Merwin, yep.
He's been helping out a lot. And he's a good, he got straight A's.
Hey.
He just graduated.
Congratulations.
Mechanical engineering.
Frank. Wow.
Straight A's.
Congratulations.
And for that, I'm proud of this kid.
Yeah, I'm proud. I'm sure his family's proud
as
well.
And I'm going to get him a copy of Winter Breaks.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's awesome.
Yeah, man. So we get him another day in the life as well.
Oh, word. Okay. Nice. Oh, and he also recognized, because I was gonna say that joint, the Follow the Master. You did kind of go back into the past with the Mugen with the blue pen.
Hey,
I was like, all right.
Yeah, couple little past references.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, he mentioned Samurai Champloo. Very nice.
That's what's up.
All right, cool. So people, you know what I'm saying? It's dope when you can go somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And then people are like responding to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm amazed every time like I come here.
Right.
And people are like, yo, that was dope. We have people in like Alaska.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he tunes in live, then calls up. That's probably him that maybe tried to call up or something.
Wow.
And like I said, I got to send a bow tie to England. That's awesome. A whole nother story. But I prefer digital because it's a lot cheaper. All right, cool. So let's play Rapology, a round of Rapology.
Right, cool.
10 questions.
Oh, God. No pressure.
There's 10, 25, and 50. We're going to go. I had Mr. Walt from Beat Miners play it. He got it. It's Mr. Walt. He got them all right.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So he's that dude.
I feel like DJs have an unfair advantage. You know what I'm saying? I'm a rapper. I'm trying, But
this has all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you'd be just fine.
Here we go.
All right. Question 1.
Oh, God.
This movie was sampled throughout the Only Built for Cuban Links album by Raekwon. Was it Casino? No, there's multiple choice. Was it Casino? Was it The Fist of the White Lotus? Shogun Assassin? The Killer?
Oh, my God.
And it's time, so you have 8 seconds.
Man, I'm going to say The Killer?
Yep.
Yeah.
See? There you go.
The pressure. Oh, my God.
Question 2. Best Tang Smokin' was the title of the debut album from this artist. Smoke DZA? Was it Young Dro? Currency? Or Redman? Best Tang Smokin'.
I'm going to say Smoke DZA. I don't know.
It's actually Young Dro.
Young Dro.
I did not know that either.
Sorry.
All right. So Work is the title debut major label single from this Harlem rapper. Work. Was it Joel Santana, Jay Mills, A$AP Ferg, or Mace?
No, it was not Mace. Jules? I don't think it was Jules. I don't know, man.
A$AP Ferg.
A$AP Ferg.
I got that wrong. I have no clue who the hell that is.
Right.
I don't even know who A$AP Ferg is.
I know the name, and I've heard something about a Bone Thugs influence
in
some of his stuff, but
Tupac debuted his rapping skills on this track by Digital Underground.
All around the world is the same song.
All right, there you go. Nice.
Don't.
See, this is dope because it covers like pretty much everything. It's like a whole gamut of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Obi Trice was originally signed to this label. Was it Maybach Music, Militainment, G Unit, or Shady Records?
Shady Records.
All right, there you go. See? All right, this rapper originally went by the stage name Kid Wizard. Was it Maceo, Prodigy, Lord Finesse, or Rakim?
Wow, Kid Wizard?
Kid Wizard.
I do not know. I'm interested to find out.
Yeah, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, give it a shot. Who would be Kid Wizard out of those people?
I feel like Rakim so cool, he might have started with a terrible name. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. Yep.
Rakim?
Yep. So next time you see Rakim, be like, hey, say Wizard.
I can kind of relate to that. Like I wasn't always substantial, B. I was Confucius. I'm just saying.
Hey, it's kind of close to conscious, so I don't know what you're trying to insert. I'm just saying.
Conscious is way cooler than Confucius.
No, it's not. Actually,
Yeah,
not really. All right, so wavy is a term popularized by this incarcerated rapper.
Oh, God.
Was it Chi Ali, Lil Wayne, Max B, or Schoolie D? Wavy.
Max B.
Yep. Yeah, got it. There you go.
Wow.
See?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing process of elimination. I'm like, I know he didn't say it. I know he didn't say it. And that leaves this guy.
Exactly.
Right.
So started in 1996, this independent record label is known for jump-starting the careers of Mos Def and Talib Kweli. I don't even need to give you...
Raucous.
There you go. Exactly. You ever had any run-ins with Raucous?
I've had run-ins with raucous artists.
Okay.
Like I met Most a long time ago, and like various artists who were working with them and stuff when I was living in New York. But but never really chopped it up with any of the label folks.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Black Rock is a rap/rock collaboration album between this band and many different hip-hop artists. Is it Linkin Park, Vampire Weekend, The Black Keys, or Aerosmith? Black Rock.
Black Keys.
Yep. Got it. See? Because what happens is Dame Dash put it together.
Yeah,
So-
I heard about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, so how old was Lil Wayne when he released his first collaboration album, True Story, with BG? I have no clue what this is. How old was Lil Wayne when he released his first collaboration album, True Story, with BG?
16?
Well, that's not what that was. 12, 15, 11, or 13?
15.
15? Nah, actually 11.
What?
Right?
Wow.
Why are you right? Well, I mean, you teaching kids.
I
now,
mean,
so,
yeah, I got a couple 12-year-olds that are dirty, B.
Yeah,
Like, real nice.
But I don't know if they're rapping about,
Hey, before they met me, they were.
Yeah,
yeah.
So that's why we need folks
Yo,
like you. You know what I'm
you'd
saying?
be surprised, but like, yo, what's your life like? Your life is not what you've been rapping about,
Exactly.
right? It's like, son, you worried about having breakfast this morning, and if you left your homework in the crib, and hopefully not getting jumped by that neighborhood over there. That is it.
Yeah, exactly.
You ain't in no expensive cars yet, unless your parents drive it. You know what I'm saying? So,
And then and I think that's what they see.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
They
And
think
so-
that's what a rapper's supposed to talk about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you give them another option, I think they see that it fits them more because it's really what I can rap about what I'm actually going on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
MC Light said it best. You're like, yo, you're reporters. You know what I mean? Like you're reporting what you see with what your life experiences and what's happening in your community a lot of times. You know what I mean?
yeah, word up.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, I think you got like 8 out of 10.
Hey man, I try, man.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Right. Educated guesses are real.
Right?
They work.
They tell you on the SATs.
I promise you, I did not know the answer to half of those. I promise you. I just process of elimination, man. I was just like, nope, maybe.
Maybe. And you went with the maybes. Nice. So so cool. Thank hold on, people are liking stuff here again. The real DJ Keys. You know what I'm saying? Shinobi, big shout out to homie Shinobi Stallions, a local MC, really dope.
All right.
And Miles Ryan Music. Word up. Nice. So, sir, thank you very much.
Hey, thank
you know
you,
what I'm saying?
brother.
So it was cool. I mean,
Yeah, for
anything
sure.
else? I mean, anything that you need. You know what I'm saying? Just hit me up like, hey, yeah, I just want to come on there and talk, mess. or whatever.
Definitely,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? Let me know.
You know, and hopefully I get back down here in the future to perform for you guys. I know.
Hopefully like another 3 years, because you say you only come down here like every 3 years. or
Yeah, I
something.
come down like every 2 to 3 years and stuff, and it's not so much that we try to. I need y'all to know as fans, especially those of you who have some influence to book shows. You know what I mean? Because some of you go to colleges where there are organizations that put on events. That's all you really need to do. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be a club, or if you work with an organization that's looking for people to come in and do something hip hop related. So we're down to go wherever. And nobody intentionally avoids your city. It's just when we reach out, not everyone responds. So hopefully I'll get down here sooner than later. We're looking to tour in the spring. I know we're going to South by Southwest, and we're looking to kind of branch out from there and hit up a couple different places.
Let me know, because we could probably set something up here or something.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. I got family here, so
Nice.
I don't really need too much of a reason to come. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So. Yeah, man, but for sure. But yeah, definitely you're online. Check out iamsubstantial.com, the website and stuff. And, man, keep supporting. I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to my music and my story, you know what I mean? And which is very much the story of a lot of people from where I'm from, who, I'm speaking for and trying to represent well. So I appreciate y'all for real. Yeah, and that's pretty much it,
Nice.
man.
Thank you, fam.
Shout out to my wife for being the most patient
Right?
person.
You know what I'm saying?
on
That
the
is
planet.
awesome. Especially driving from the other side of the planet.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
We about to eat good, I know that much.
And sleep good.
Man.
You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? So, word. So, again, thank you very much, fam.
Yes, sir.
And Rubik's Uno wanted to know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, on Google Plus.
Right.
Another
So-
extended fam album?
Yes.
Right.
We have already picked out 90% of the production.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like 90 beats. It's like, holy crap, that'd be crazy.
But no, we have literally all of the beats for the album with the exception of one. We're trying to get that track together.
You want to say some
And-
producers, put it out there in the universe, maybe?
No,
You put it out
hold
there.
out.
We're talking about putting out stuff out in the universe and having it come back.
Tone Deaf will hit me with a tranquilizer dart from Queens, New York, and it'll be a blow dart, and somehow we'll travel that far. But yeah, we got some great folks, some folks you're familiar with,
Nice.
and yeah, man, and typical E-Fam, where it's tracks where we're pushing the envelope and stuff. Most of the concepts are laid out. We have a title. He probably doesn't want me to say, and we've already started recording. So yeah,
nice.
it is happening. You know what I'm saying? Slowly but surely, but it is happening.
Nice.
Yeah. So
All right, cool. So hopefully I got everybody's questions and things and
Right.
stuff down. So thank you, fam.
Yeah, thank
You know
you.
what I'm saying? And again, anytime you need anything, just let me know. You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
I'm here.
Hey man, I appreciate
You know
it.
where I'm
man.
at. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So.
vice versa.
All right, appreciate you again,
Yeah,
sir.
man.
Again.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So I'm going to just probably end off playing some more joints, and And again, big shout out to Substantial. You know what I'm saying? Wait, real quick. Substizzle, Twitter. There was like.
Why Substizzle?
Yeah,
right?
like what happened?
So I went to get Substantial,
Yeah.
and it was not available. So, and I'm just like, and I was going to do Substantial music, which is what I usually do when Substantial isn't available, and I couldn't because it was one letter too long. Right.
That sucks.
So, my man, a couple dudes I know or whatever, sometimes like without even knowing each other, would call me Substizzle, and then I even used it in a lyric a long time ago in a song that didn't come out, I was just like, just put Substizzle. You know what I'm saying?
It's Twitter. It's not gonna be a big thing.
It's not that deep. Right. And next thing you know, I'm like stuck with it. I'm verified with Substizzle. I'm stuck. It's just there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my kids are looking at me at school like, really? Substizzle? Come on, Mr. Robinson.
What year is it?
Right. You know? So yeah, it was just one of those things, man. It was a random thing. My boy called me, and at the time I just used it. You know what I mean? So,
Nice. All right, cool. Hey, that was just kind of my own wondering.
Right.
All right.
Nah,
Thank you,
appreciate
fam.
it.
And enjoy. Happy New Year. You know what I'm saying?
Same to you, bro.
Happy holidays.
Word.
For whatever that you
Happy
celebrate.
Kwanzaa to those who celebrate.
Exactly.
Hey, let me say this real quick. My man and I was looking at all the problems that the country's going through and different problems in our community. And one of the things we were saying, we were like, yo, we were talking about different ways we can fix it. And there are a lot of things we can do to fix it. But I'm going to keep it 100 with you. For those of you, you know what I mean? Those of you of African descent, a great place to start with fixing some of our problems is more people celebrating Kwanzaa. And it's like, and I know that sounds like some little cheesy shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, cheesy stuff. Sorry. I got into it. I know it sounds a little cheesy, but I need y'all to know that, like, you know, an important part of building our communities up and building one another up is living our lives by a set of principles. And the 7 principles of Kwanzaa is definitely a great place to start. And it's not about practicing those things during just the end of the year, but incorporating those things in your day-to-day life and living by that. And that's why I wrote the song, A Celebration. It really was my way of kind of promoting that to the public in a way that everybody could enjoy it and make the official Kwanzaa song and show people that it's something beautiful that's really about the uplifting our people and understanding that when our people do well, everybody does well. So, you know, like it's not about us taking over and running y'all and doing what y'all did to us. It's not about that. You know what I'm saying? It's about building us up, because when we do better, everyone does better. You know what I mean? And that applies to all cultures and all people. You know what I mean? Hopefully.
Yeah, right? Hopefully. Exactly.
You know? So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. That was my little thing I just had to throw out there. But word.
Right.
Kwanzaa. You know what I'm saying? Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa, fam.
Yeah, word.
All right, let's get into a track off of Winter Breaks, which is out now.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you.
So what do you want? I don't know what you want to get into.
New Year's coming up. Play resolutions per minute, man.
Resolutions per minute. All right, word up. Nice. And you do resolutions?
Yes, but I'm of the 8% on average who actually holds up their resolutions.
Nice.
So I one of my resolutions in 2008 was to give up chicken. I do not eat chicken.
Word.
I still do not eat chicken. So
okay.
Yeah, it's not like it's the worst thing you could eat.
Yeah.
It was just something I was like, let me not eat chicken anymore.
Yeah.
And like I saw health improvements, saw improvements in my weight and things like that. And yeah.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
okay.
So yeah,
I
do, you know what I mean? But I actually stick with mine.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Word up. Okay. Cool. Well, hopefully resolutions in 2015 are just, build that spaceship.
Yeah, that's spaceship time. You know what I'm saying? Spaceship. For those who've seen Lego movies, spaceship. You know what I'm saying? All
right, fam. Again, thank you very much.
Hey,
and we're gonna get into resolutions per minute.
Yes, sir.
Off of Winter Breaks, Bop Alloy, which is Marcus D, and Substantial.
Yeah, man.
All right, fam. Be easy. Peace.
Peace.
Follow the master.
Yeah, thank you again.
Hey, man, thank you, man.
I'm sorry it took up a bunch of your time.
Hey, no, it's cool, man. This is probably the most fun I had at a radio interview.
Oh, word?
Yeah,
okay. Well, thank you. I'm worried. I'm like, are they just being nice and still talking, or do I need to cut this off? Because I'm like, he's talking, so I don't want to stop somebody from the middle of something.
Oh, no, it's cool, man. It's cool.
Trying to better myself every year, but falling short. Should do it for growth and then focus on cheers alone.
Yeah, I did a little read-up. Like, a lot of times when I write a song, I'm talking about something I know a little something about. I still try to get some outside input on the subject. And so, one of the things I noticed was like resolutions. I already knew most people don't keep it, but like when you look at the studies, it literally fluctuates from like 10 to 8% of people who actually keep it. And when you look at what the resolutions are, like a few of them are like frivolous things, but a lot of them be like serious shit, like be healthier. Like 90% of you don't care,
right? You know what I'm saying? Like get off crack. You really? You're not gonna try and work on that.
Yeah, man. So and then some people have resolutions for the wrong reasons, which is what this verse is about. Like not trying to get healthier or slimmer for health purposes, but to appease someone else. You know what I mean? And that's why you ultimately fail. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right.
Somebody else is not yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. Okay.